Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nature Check's Burn Campaign, the show where you come for the game and stay for the science. Thanks, as always, to those of you who are watching us live. I already see at least 2 people watching. Remember, if you have any questions for the cast, feel free to post them in the Twitch chat, and I'll bring them up when we take our break. If you're not watching us live, or if you want to share us with your friends and family, and even your enemies, you can catch us on video at our YouTube channel or on our podcast. We appreciate you coming along with us on our adventures. Don't forget subscriptions on any of our platforms, as well as comments and reviews and follows and likes and whatever else you can do. Those really help us out, so thanks in advance for doing that as well. And the social media information for the entire Nature Check cast can be found down in the reference section below. Now it's time for introductions. Hi, I'm Sheryl, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a PhD student studying ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and when I'm not doing my research or teaching remotely, you can find me on YouTube as the Roving Naturalist. I filmed a video today that I'm actually really proud of, so we'll see how that turns out. For the Burn campaign, I'm running the family called the Ripples, and my current character's name is still Islae. But who knows? Anything is on the table today. Next we've got Jordan.
I had to take a second to remember whether or not Lissa died.
No.
I'm Jordan. Well, because we had been talking about which grad student I would pick
Oh, that's
to be next, and then I was like into this, and I was like, wait, did we do that?
Oh, that's more of a,
that's not
no,
my
that
notes.
was just Peter. Peter's the one who died. I'm not sure if I'm pointing at Peter, but it doesn't.
No.
I mean, on my
Currently you're
screen
pointing
you
at
are?
Xander.
No, yeah, you're on the far right this time, so you gotta go that way.
Well, Peter.
Peter is all around you.
Anyway,
Forever.
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm Jordan, pronoun she series. I'm a PhD student at Harvard and MIT studying brain stimulation, machine learning, and anesthesia. When I'm not doing PhD things, I'm also on YouTube talking about how we interact with AI and algorithms every day. And for this campaign, I'm running the family, the Institute, and playing the character Lissa. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Okay. Then we've got Peter.
Hi, Peter. I'm somewhere.
He's
around here somewhere.
I mean, you don't have to point at yourself. You're there.
I'm right here. Yeah,
He's the only one who can point to himself successfully right now.
Ta-da!
That.
This is like that video of the color blocked people
With
saying
Usher.
like acapella stuff, and then Drake was like in the bottom left, and they clearly told him that he was going to be in the middle.
I was pointing at it.
Oh, yeah,
That's me, right over
that's
here.
Smart. Okay. I use he pronouns. I run the Shepherds of the Cave. I am paid to teach people about agriculture. I am an entomologist. Is that it? Are those all the
So
things?
good at
it?
intros. So good.
In
So
that
good
order.
at intros.
Don't you have a character?
I do, but my current character has not been named yet. I mean, I know
That's good. We're
know
gonna-
their name,
yeah,
but we have
We'll
not
get into that.
canonically
Well, we're still
disclosed their name yet. A
we're still-
secret new character.
we're still working on the transition away from Charon, right?
Charon is dead.
Oh, Charon
So,
is dead.
I don't
Okay.
know.
I don't know if your feelings have not been resolved
Oh.
yet about that.
No,
Like,
I wasn't sure if we
He
had
got put
decided
up
we were
against the
killing him
wall.
on screen or not.
Oh
So-
no. He died in the revolution. He died heroically, depending on your point of view.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not mine.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to point out that you might need to consider a brand change because you are not of the cave anymore.
Oh yeah.
They've still got those catacombs. It's not. Do you want to be the shepherds of the catacombs?
Ooh.
But they're very cave-like in their.
It's too long. Shepherd of the Combs.
Cones.
Shepherd of the bugs.
Yeah, I don't know. Xander
There's,
already
like,
kind
some
of like
really
locked
lights
down
on
that
right now.
whole splintering and rebranding thing
Mhm.
for
I
his
mean,
family. So
You had a revolution.
that's true. It's true.
Anyhow.
Then there's Xander.
And then there's Xander.
Hi,
What?
I'm
You don't
Xander.
like a little Les Mis in your burn?
I love a lot of Les Mis in my brain.
Do you want?
Oh yeah, that's listen.
You know, I doubted when they casted Anne Hathaway in that, and then she did an amazing
Oh,
job.
she did do a good job.
Honestly,
Really
I
good.
thought
Yeah.
I really liked everyone.
See, I had a
know
bias
that it got
because of the
panned,
Princess-
but-
I don't know
Princess
about
Diaries.
everyone, but
Well,
was like-
let's see.
I was like, they're
Russell
gonna put.
Crowe is the main
yeah,
one I really. I
Javert
thought
made
did
me
it.
very upset.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, strong opinions.
I was gonna say I just immediately think of the Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway, and I was like, you can't go to a serious French music, and she did an amazing job.
I'm out.
No, she also did a really good job as Catwoman.
She was also
good
Ella
actress.
Enchanted, which was
She
a
has
book I
the
read
range.
when I was a kid.
Yes, I saw that on a plane and it was very good.
Seems like the
No.
appropriate place to see it, honestly.
It's fair, but like when you watch the movie on a plane is definitely a crapshoot. Especially back in the days when it was the movie on the plane, not like these days when we have kids eat. Oh God.
I remember
I-
planes.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
Planes,
Did you see that
guys?
thing that like there's an airline in Singapore that's thinking of chartering they're calling it flights to nowhere. You get on the plane, you have a tropical drink, they fly you around in the sky for a little while and then land you back right where you started. And all I could think was, why are we wasting that fuel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
doesn't
also-
sound like a good use.
Yeah.
The whole thing about not being on a plane is not because I don't have anywhere to go. It's because I don't want to be on an airplane with other human beings.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that's-
I've
that's
never
Being on an
wanted to
airplane
spend
is
I
not
don't
more
the fun
time.
part of
because
travel.
of the plane.
I already
Yeah.
felt that way before COVID.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Oh man, last
I mean,
time I
it's-
traveled, was going through Denver, and we had to wait a half hour on like the plane because they were waiting to find a jet bridge operator. So,
Oh, I can top that. And
Oh, sure, this is
I
just
would,
the
but I
last
still have
one
to
for
introduce
me.
myself. I got
Yeah,
delayed
let's
for
stick to
many hours
Xander.
because of a broken tray table, and then I missed a flight. It was a broken. I have pictures. Anyway, hi, I'm Xander. I am a graduate student in psychology and voiceover actor. My setup with my microphone and headphones is completely different right now, so if my levels are high or low, just let me know, and I'll twist the gain knob over there. When I'm not doing those things, I am Art Explains on YouTube, where I make videos about all kinds of science and history topics. My most recent one was about cluster headaches, and I'm still working on a video about supervolcanoes that I've had written since June, but I haven't had time to make it yet because it's going to be like a 16-minute episode.
It's
But
okay.
it'll be very, very explosive when it's finally done.
It's okay.
I
June
even
was
sent it
only
to-
like a week ago, so you've got time.
Mm-hmm.
I even
Yeah.
sent it to a geologist, and I was like, "Hey, does this look good?"
Nice.
And he said it
Right.
rocked, and he's the expert on that. So.
Well,
Just waiting for it.
You'll never know if that was just a setup for a pun or if
I
that's
know,
really
right?
a thing that happened.
I have a friend who's a volcanologist.
But that's also definitely something they would say, not just you, is the problem.
I think
I've
just
met
because Cindy's
enough.
on a Star Trek podcast doesn't mean you can call her a volcanologist.
Wow. No.
That
That
was good.
that joke went like many layers deep, but
I know.
that wasn't who I was talking about. But anyway.
I use he, him, his pronouns, and I play the Bowerbirds / Spider Hunters family. In this game, there was a faction split, as was previously mentioned. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now that we've slogged our way through all of that, there's Jareth.
Hi, I'm Jareth. I use the Day series, work on 12 to make sure that paper is real straight, though not always. Listen, but most of the time, it's at least straight enough, so that the lines, it's a very important job that nobody pays any attention to but me. But if I didn't do it, it would be slightly worse in ways you couldn't quite tell. So that's me, and my background is in nuclear physics and astrophysics, so makes perfect sense, I think, to everybody here. And yeah, let's get started. I wanted to hear about Peter's shit, because that is exactly... Peter, you've got a new character, do you not?
I
felt
do.
like
Yeah. Oh, I should
I would
open
like to
Roll20.
Get a
shouldn't I?
little bit into your revolution now that, the kind of other big event of last episode was a caravan from another one of your underground cities that did a bit of trading. But yeah. So Peter, if I recall, this was kind of a split between like the farming laboring class and the bourgeois, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I ad-libbed myself into a situation where all of the people that I was playing were very bad people, and so I decided to overthrow myself.
Hell yeah!
So yeah,
That's
so
the
there,
spirit.
yeah. So basically, we had a labor cast and a ruling cast, and then in the kind of transition to the new location after we all left the Citadel, and as my family migrated into the catacombs full of horrible ancient bioengineered
failed genetic
experiments,
catacombs is what it says on the map.
I remember there was a cow fetus.
I think there was some.
It was, well, it wasn't specifically that. It was just like
we talked a lot about a cow fetus.
Wasn't that an episode of Firefly?
Exactly. It was by way of analogy to that episode, not the specific thing itself. I didn't really define the kind of biomass. Anyhow, that's definitely not the important thing. Please, Peter.
So basically, we ended up in a situation where the excuse me, the labor class had basically formed an alliance with another group of settlers on the top side, and were
the biohacked farmers.
Yeah, exactly. And they were basically
everybody's biohacked these days. It's trendy.
Yeah, exactly. All the cool kids are hacking their bios.
That's so true.
So, basically, the shepherds had built their entire power. The power that the shepherds had in the Citadel was that they were basically controlling the food source for everyone, right?
That's true.
And then the upper ruling class of the shepherds basically gave that same power to the working class, making themselves semi-obsolete. So the working class, who was subjugated briefly, kind of realized that they were still holding all the power.
So what you're saying is that capitalism will sell us the rope to hang itself.
yeah, something capitalism.
Something
Anyways,
like anyhow,
there was a brief violent revolution.
I read this in college.
Yeah, I feel like probably someone got high and told you this story in college, because I feel like that's what it sounds like to me. But anyways, there was
just
a
keep
brief.
making those sounds. I have to edit out later. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Got him.
There was a brief violent revolution, and Charon, my previous character, led the forces, even though he basically came out of retirement to lead the forces against the uprising. Yeah,
was it a claw hand? I don't remember.
I feel like not wood. I feel like I argued pretty strongly that wood was a limited resource last episode. So yeah, it definitely would have been like a couple of tarsal segments glued together, from like a insect, or like a centipede fang, like hook.
I feel like better prostheses. How does yeah, are definitely available than that. So are you sure?
Yeah, I feel like if you are the villain, you have a hook hand.
For sure.
Every prosthesis is cool except hooks, which I feel like make you evil, right?
I'm sorry, I need to go edit Arda quickly. I'll be back.
All right. No, go ahead. So we don't need to worry about his hand because he's dead. So go on.
Yeah. So in the final battle, Essie, one of the leaders of the revolutionary forces, killed him. There basically, and there was an explosion at the time.
There was an explosion at the time?
At the time. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a way to use the English language's tenses. But here we are.
It's very dramatic. Lots of stuff happened. It was very exciting.
That's
I was
exactly
the only
what
one
had
there.
been an explosion.
If you
When
guys
the
had been there, you would have
historian-
thought it was really cool.
When the historian at the museum gives a tour of where the explosion happened, that's exactly how they're going to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be like, lots of things happened. There was an explosion here at the time.
Please
And
don't
everyone
cross the
will-
velvet ropes, sir.
Precisely.
Those
Looks at the
bits that have
explosion.
exploded are historic. So that is historic explosion,
So
rubble,
what
and
exploded?
scarring.
And
Everything.
whoa.
Probably like some explosive stuff,
Ugh.
like some chemicals.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we are
No,
being,
that's fair.
This is just great. Good
Yeah.
content, guys. Oh.
Yep.
I
Anyways, Essie's my new character now.
S.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And she's got
Is
burn
that-
scars from the explosion on her
see.
right arm.
cool.
Metal.
Yeah.
What else is what
But no
was-
hook hand. Because she's
Huh?
not evil.
Okay. I feel like alright, it's fine.
This is totally a bit about Captain Hook not making any kind of like ableist actual
question.
statements here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
figured that's where
I
you were
do.
going with that.
Yeah.
You love cat. So what's oh right, she was the firebrand that had the explosives.
Quite literally?
So it's,
Really?
Yeah, I mean the character class is called the Firebrand, so you know.
Was his name Captain Hook before he had his hand bit off by the...
Ooh.
I'm going to go with...
That would be
Crocodile.
my opinion.
I did see a thing about that recently that was like Captain Hook
All right.
realizing that all of the kids call him Captain Hook, and he's like, "Wait, you refer to me by my physical?"
Meanwhile, his name is really
well?
like Reginald or something.
yeah, exactly.
There's like
My name is
18
Carl.
color beards, you know?
Carl.
Yeah,
Blue, black, red.
yeah,
Know that there's a green beard, but there could be.
yeah. You think my prosthesis is my defining characteristic? I feel like that's very reductionist. You
Is there
children
just
are
three?
awful.
Is there just 3 pirates with beard names? Thought there were more. There's Redbeard, Blackbeard, Bluebeard. Is Bluebeard? Did
I
I
don't
make
think
that up?
Bluebeard is a pirate. I don't think that's not a
it
real
just-
pirate.
I'm Googling.
Whitebeard is a character in One Piece.
Well, anywho.
Oops.
I feel like
so-
beards don't come in that many colors naturally.
I mean,
You are the
granted,
beard expert here, although I might overtake you soon. This is getting ridiculous.
that I do love the
Bluebeard
sculpting
is
on it.
a French barbe bleue. That was not the
Oh,
right
that's-
accent. Is a French folktale, the most famous
No,
surviving
barbe bleue.
version of which was written by Charles Perrault and was first published by Barbin in Paris in 1697. Nope, I'm
But
not
he's
going
a
to try
pirate?
any more French today. I don't have my French accent in my pocket.
Wow, so
Wow,
Bluebeard
dude.
predates Blackbeard then. Right.
Well, we learned about pirates today.
Everybody, good job. Go home.
Good work. No, that's just where this starts. So you were kind of, I guess, farming more now. Is that like you've got? Actually, why don't you take 2 treaty on these? Oh, right, we did that mechanically last time. Never mind.
We did. I mean,
With it, yeah,
I'm gunning to like
make them your
absorb
cool
them.
friends. Oh,
eventually.
I mean that makes sense. Yeah.
Will be the
Close allies
biohacked,
already.
the shepherds of the biohacked,
The biohack
Shep-
shepherds.
shepherds of the raiders, the raiders of the cave.
Just transpose them a little bit.
Yeah.
The reckless farmers, I think, in my notes now.
Ooh.
They were the reckless raiders, but they're not raiding as much these days. They're farming, and so here we are. They still led by Insane Jane with a big sniper rifle. So, like, you don't want to fuck with them, but mostly they're farming.
Oh yeah.
Was her name Insane Jane before she got the sniper rifle?
I
Yeah.
Are
Before
we
that,
just-
she was
We're
We're
Insane
interrogating
Sally.
the backstories of all of the villains today. Is that what we're doing?
apparently
She's like,
I made her
"Mm,
up for a completely different campaign and never had to address that point in that one. So maybe the legends don't say. You've only heard the whispers. The tales. It's like one of
Yeah.
those, Western like
Mm, mhm,
ballad style
mhm.
songs.
Essie is way too intimidated by Insane Jane to ask. So
Mhm.
Can you tell us
That's
a bit
correct.
more about Essie in terms of like
Yeah.
age, style, like
Oh yeah.
where did she come
who
from?
is
Why
this
did she kill
person?
Charon? Where did the explosion come from?
That's her faction. Yeah, kind of as you've done it.
Well, obviously she grew up among the working class of the shepherds, in the dung beetle pits.
Relatable.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
I know I have.
We wish we hadn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that like everybody in the Citadel in 8th grade had to do like a tour, like a field trip to the dung beetle pits.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
this is where all your
Part of it,
sewage
yeah.
ends up. Aren't you glad you're
Yeah.
not one of those people?
I like that we had
Wow.
field trips while living in this like cave city.
I mean, didn't you go to like civic event stuff? I mean, nothing else. Our college, we had a required thing freshman year where they showed us all the various departments in the physics department, so we could kind of decide where we wanted to apply ourselves over the course of our whatever. Like,
Right.
Basically the gist of the class I'm teaching, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See. Yeah.
Yeah, not everything is elevator operators and Bowerbirds stabbing people, you know?
But
Like
a
some
lot
people
of-
gotta, you know, make sure that the
I will also say that broadly speaking, like I don't. Families are not explicitly hereditary in this sense that, like, you know, if you're constantly recruiting from a general population pool rather than, like, you know, certainly if like my dad's a computer scientist, I'm more likely to be a computer scientist, but at the same time, just because I've got the resource at that level, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, that just means that, like, yeah, you're recruiting out of a common pool of people, and so you do have to, you know, show them the ropes and things to get them. So it would make perfect sense for there to, at some point at like high school or level, be like, you know, a tour of all the facilities that have all the stuff. And the
And
kids are
interestingly,
like, oh, cool nukes.
Essie is a vegan.
Uh-huh. She is a vegan. Actually, so she's a really smart vegan, but she like totally blew off her family aptitude test in 6th grade,
Mhm.
and so that's how she got assigned to the dung beetle pits.
What I really want to know though
Yeah.
is her age, because like, is she young enough to be the first player character who has not been alive for the sun not being around, or is she still old enough that she might remember it before the sun came back?
Oh yeah, it's been about what, I think 15 years or
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
she's not
Pretty
15.
young
No,
to be,
she's
yeah.
I was picturing her being about 27.
Okay.
so. Okay,
Um,
then.
So like yeah, she
That
remembers
puts her
the
at
sun coming
15.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, as kind of, middle school experience, that must have been pretty formative.
Yeah. I imagine it coming back probably. I don't know. Like, never mind. I was gonna make a bad analogy. Anyways, yeah, very formative,
9/11.
exciting. Yeah, it was gonna
Yeah.
be 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking
As soon as you were like, oh, middle school experience, my mind immediately went to that, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah,
Isn't
and
that
I was like, 9/11. Well, that would actually have been a little earlier. And then I was like, oh wait, all of you are younger than me. This would be really appropriate. And then I was like, it'll be a major bummer. Don't
But then
say it
you
out
get-
loud. Thank you, Xander.
6th grade. Yeah.
Everyone here except for Jordan is definitely old enough to remember it. I think Jordan probably remembers
Would
it.
have been 5.
I'm old enough to remember it only because I lived in Jersey City and my
Whoa.
apartment had a view of the Twin Towers, and my
Yeah.
dad used to
Whoa.
live near the World Trade Center. So
That's
Wow.
fair. My
Wow.
yeah.
I have cousins who were born after, and it's weird. But I mean, time happens. That's not a surprise. Speaking of time happening, so what was this? Yeah, I guess kind of growing up experience. I guess that doesn't have to focus on that one moment when the sun came back, but like, how does she kind of get into being a revolutionary at the very minimum, because that kind of is her class and therefore defines her to a certain extent.
Okay.
Right?
I feel like honestly, it was probably Insane Jane, right? Like it was probably like the the working class of the shepherds had been, I mean, like for generations. I mean, even though, yeah, you're right, it's not hereditary. There was like a very strong like cultural role of
there's
like,
definitely
hey,
a lot
you got to
of,
do your part. Like we need people to do this work, even though it's menial, because it's so important to like the food process in the Citadel. And then like now that there's like we're capable of farming in different ways, and like there's a little bit more like freedom of resources above ground, like we passed through this kind of bottleneck. It's a little bit like, hey, we could try out different stuff. It doesn't always have to be this way. And I feel like that led to the shepherds cracking down a little bit, like trying to maintain control of their workforce, who was getting a little uppity, and then that blew back in their faces, literally in Charon's case. So while working working alongside the biohacked raiders, what were you calling them? They
were the reckless raiders. Now they're the reckless farmers.
Oh yeah. Oh man, there's probably an urban farm out there with that name.
They only had to change half of the lettering on their jackets, so
exactly. That's
you know how long it takes to hand embroider a jacket?
A long time. Yeah.
So worth it.
And if you're to unbedazzle and then re-bedazzle, it's just not worth the time.
Yeah, plus the shortage of dazzle in Apocalypse.
You mean that wasn't part of your like stash of luxury fabrics or Ganymede's stash of luxury like painting supplies or whatever? There's no sequence in there.
Okay. Actually, to really break the fourth wall here, and bring, I feel like since in Arda last week we had specifically a whole race of people.
The fifth wall, because you're breaking out of our fourth
That's
wall.
right, Sheryl.
You're breaking the fifth wall.
Twist. My game's in your game.
Specifically, they were talking about using insect elytra, metallic insect exoskeletons as jewelry and stuff like that. Like, I feel like the shepherds have been doing that for a while. Like, there's definitely
I had a tiger beetle.
Yeah, and dung beetles, right? Like a lot of the dung beetles are beautiful metallic, right? Yeah. Like so. Yeah, there was definitely somebody whose job it was to like sit there with like an auger, just like carving holes out of like giant pieces of exoskeleton to make like sequins.
So it does, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole punch.
Whole punch.
Oh, that'd make your hand hurt.
Rivet gun.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking
there's a reason these people revolted,
but...
right? These were not good jobs. So then after spending several years punching holes in exoskeleton, for early 20s, the time of life when you should really be locked in a cave punching holes in exoskeletons.
Honestly.
Yeah. Then interacting with Insane Jane and seeing like what the reckless farmers were getting up to, it was like, oh, okay, screw these guys. We're gonna we want a revolution.
Yeah, and I think definitely very anarcho-socialist sort of hierarchy over there.
Yeah.
I have two thoughts. One is that I love that Insane Jane is now a strong female role model.
Honestly, if you see her in the game I stole her from, it checks.
Okay. And two, if Essie is upset about spending her early and mid-20s in a cave punching holes out of exoskeleton, like, what exactly did you think the teen scene was around here that she's missing out on? Like,
that's a good question. What is the teen scene?
Like, I was going to say, I should be keeping my grad students away from this.
Like, what is the party availability that she's missing out on? I want to know.
I'm definitely assuming that the Bowerbirds like run and operate their own still. I'm assuming that the Institute is like doing like electrostimulation like drugs on their own heads. As teenagers.
We're just doing like hallucinogenic drugs.
Oh, okay, all right, that too. All right, cool. And then I assume that the ripples are like being bitten by octopi that intoxicate them or something.
Or
the porpoise.
Snorting seaweed.
Yeah. The porpoise and the blowfish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of was the blowfish. Yeah.
And probably like sensory deprivation tanks or like weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
Snorting psychedelic seaweed.
Free diving.
Just fun to say.
There you go. That's a risky one.
Yeah.
So
I assume
Go
that some
ahead.
part of the catacombs was also a club called the Combs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's a disco ball, the last remaining
Yeah.
disco ball.
It's actually
Yeah,
made out of beetle electro segments.
Did you just bring disco back?
Have you
Also,
not
rough,
noticed
baby.
that trends have like a cycle? Like things that you thought were cool in like the 30s are now a thing again. Like
Yeah,
everything
Disco's
about
back
this
for
year
that
is like the
87th
20s. So,
time.
yeah.
This will be
Awesome.
the
Mhm.
super iteration of disco being back. Yeah,
Trends do have certain sort of that. Anywho,
Also, earlier,
I'm gonna assume that the
But-
shepherds were also growing psychedelic mushrooms because
We
they
did
were
talk
growing
about that
one.
before.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so like I just feel like,
there's
but like
definitely-
maybe that was reserved for the elite.
But like also, I think broadly speaking, not to, you can certainly have structured like your family probably had. There's enough downtime for everyone to have some, but if the elite decided to take it all, well, then maybe there wouldn't be within your particular structure until things. But it's definitely, not everyone has to be working all the time, and as such, party and social lives. I do think, their bars or whatever, not like probably cash bar or anything like that, but
Just like we couldn't get rid of our cats and
Lounges, I
dogs,
guess.
humanity could not
Yeah.
get rid of our vices.
lounge. Go ahead, Peter.
Does money exist? I was assuming that
Ooh.
money still didn't exist.
No money.
No money.
I've
We-
refused.
We made a joke because I know we
We
were
had
comparing
barter.
we were comparing it to bottle caps in Fallout. I think there was a joke about the Paul Blart mall copies of movie.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Because they're too
DVD.
big to like be convenient to carry around. I feel like that was a thing we talked about.
Never aware of that.
Yeah.
That you may be shocked to learn is not canon.
What?
But it
No,
was
I'm
in an
sorry.
episode.
the currency
that's
is
true.
actually
I've said a lot of
Neopets cards.
Exactly.
Neopets.
Wait, there were cards for.
Yes, there were cards.
Have
Do
you
I
fed
own
them
We're
today?
close enough if I own
I
it.
bet
Yeah, I was
you
about to say
haven't.
there were cards.
How many starving Neopets do you have today?
A lot.
Oh, a lot.
I have more
yeah.
than one account. Yeah, you would buy the Neopets cards, and then there'd be a code inside. You could enter that into the website and
To get
stuff.
Oh.
My mom bought my brother and I a lot of Neopets cards when we were kids.
So much older than you guys.
That's why I have that.
Hey, anybody in the chat remember Pogs?
Yes.
Nope, I missed that one.
Oh
Nah,
God.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Nikki.
Really?
Nikki says all of her Neopets are starving, and she also says yes, she remembers Pogs.
Yeah.
Well, this has been enlightening.
Okay, one more off-topic thing.
All right,
Uh-oh.
go
Earlier, when
ahead.
Cheryl asked, her name is Essie, right? Instead of saying yeah, I wish Peter had said yesy. I wanted to say that immediately after it happened, but I didn't get a chance. So now we're here.
That was worth it. No, that was worth the wait. Thank you, Xander. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. I am not. That was superb. Yeah, cool. And so then you, let's see, put together a cool trade package that you had gotten from the caravan, and that was kind of the other development with you, but not nearly as exciting. Likewise, let's see. Sheryl and Xander both got to actually talk to the first version.
They did.
But yeah, as it was too busy having a revolution, I guess. I get it. Say you want. All right.
I'm glad
No,
we
hang on.
both did it
Those
at the same
Beatles.
time.
No, yeah, we should not with the Beatles
Oh.
DRM people. That's a recipe for disaster. Those people don't play.
Yes, but you know,
Although-
every time somebody says that something happens and you're like, I'll cut that from the podcast, it winds up in the podcast, so.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Well, I mean,
No, listen, I think with that disclaimer, we're probably all right. Also, I don't think anybody's going to come to this recording to replace their recording of
Do you really
whatever
want your
the hell.
branding on our thing? Because...
Yeah, right? Anywho,
might
so yeah, we have, did anyone want, I guess, Peter kind of already worked out a thing with the second convoy. did anyone want to do anything with that, or do you want to do, or any family moves? I guess that you want to kind of give a go. Now
Is
that
there a way
you've-
that I can use? Oh crap! I can't remember which it is. Data or tech, in order to try and find a solution to the need of transport that we have, because
Yes.
I know about this caravan now, and I'm thinking that might be a useful way of figuring out something to do with fixing my need of transport. But I don't know
That's
what.
fair. You did have like a couple of bikes, though, right?
Yeah, we have speeder bikes, but we
But, like-
probably need like armored trucks or something to move stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to hold this conversation while scrolling to the
mean, we
part
could-
that.
We could live our whole life on the road, the life of the hog rider. What are they?
Hog
Does anyone-
rider?
I've never touched a motorcycle in my life. I'm gonna need someone.
I'm
gonna need someone to
shocked. I'm
walk me
shocked.
through this.
Hog rider.
The
I think I saw the movie Wild Hogs.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's
well
it.
that's
That's my only-
literally all biker culture is encapsulated in that one movie. So you now understand bikers.
I got it. I've got the whole thing.
I feel like we're safe on this line of fun making because I doubt any bikers are listening to this, but you know.
Wow, way to stereotype, Sheryl.
I'm just
Honestly,
saying. Very few
All right,
people are listening in general, so the odds are.
you know what? That's fair.
The one biker I know very explicitly does not like listening to actual play games. So
I can't
No.
blame them.
yeah.
Anywho,
She was
you
like,
didn't
I
even
like
ask.
you, but I will never listen to any of
And
that stuff.
that was how they introduced themselves to you.
Mhm.
They're like, hey, I
Hi,
like
I
bikes
don't
and I
listen
don't
to-
like actual play podcasts.
And then they rode off on a bike.
into the sunset. Xander, you can use data to use the move Uncover Secrets, and you spend data and can ask some questions about how to handle needs or get surpluses and stuff like that.
Okay, and that's 2d6 plus data.
Yeah, and you choose how much to spend and advance, and it's how much you spend that you add to the roll. So
I will
it's not
spend
just
one datum.
one single datum. You spend a data.
I got a 6, so I don't think that does anything.
That's correct. You don't know, so
But we should still roleplay the scene where all the spider hunters get into a room and they're like, what should
Yeah.
we do about our need of transport? And then like
well.
there's a time lapse and like 6 hours later they're like surrounding a bunch of empty pizza boxes and they're like, we don't know. Let's start.
I like this because last
You have a
time we
whiteboard.
zoomed in on them, it was like them running around the room screaming.
Yes.
That's right.
I want this to be like an animated series of just like zooming in on the spider hunters and seeing what they're up
Only
to.
when, yeah. Like the huntsman from Freakazoid. Anywho. Is that alright? Doesn't matter. That was a very good show. I'm getting distracted, but go ahead. Actually, it feels like you more or less roleplayed that scene, unless you want to like.
Well, that
Tell
took
me some
much
more
less
about
time
it.
than it takes for
You
me
mean we
to.
don't get to make quick characters to?
All right, who wants to make a member of?
There's pizza.
Everybody yell at the same time for about 3 minutes straight, and we'll be good.
No, because last time we played, when Peter tried to pantomime killing himself, Zoom cut off his screaming. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So like if you yell, it'll just like make you mute.
Yeah.
I didn't know we
Yeah,
had
Zoom's like,
sensors listening.
This sounds bad, and so I will remove it.
Well, if
Yeah.
you try to make noises too loud, it won't let you.
Some
Jareth
person
fact.
named Dr. Zoom sitting in a room somewhere listening to our call with their finger hovering over the mute button just in case it gets out of control.
Well, in that case,
Why
this whole
haven't they
show is
stopped
on mute.
this
Yeah.
Yeah. They won't remove any of my
Why?
noises.
Why are you doing that?
But the screaming, that's the thing that
Yeah,
they're like,
like
nope.
everybody makes that sound sometimes, but when I'm looking at the waveform, like I can tell that Peter's about to talk because there's always a really big one of those spikes.
Wow.
Oh, Peter.
Oh man.
I guess it's just dunk on Peter Day, huh?
Mhm, yeah. I'm imagining that if Purgatory exists, it's going to be me editing audio recordings of myself for the rest of time.
Oh no.
This-
No,
every one of your sins adds on another year.
I've already
or
done
another
that
episode.
service for myself.
Mhm. So Xander, not too whatever. But like, what sort of ideas might you have had? Because I guess if you roll a 6, I get to do something and help me flavor it.
Well, if they were able to figure out a way to get across the hills in the current climate, they might have some schematics or technology that they'd be willing to discuss or barter for that would allow us to use what we know about creating speeder bikes to create some kind of a larger vehicle that is robust and yet fast enough to deliver messages and things like that to other places. So one thing that the spider hunters are known for now is sending out messengers to other places and trading information, right? Almost like a mail service, except nobody wants them. Buy stamps, support the post office. Hashtag whatever the hashtag is.
I'll just
I don't know
insert it
hashtags.
later. I'll just edit
Yeah,
that in.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hashtag Sheryl put something here.
Oh, I should see if my mail-in ballot got sent yet.
Callie doesn't send them out till October, but
Yeah, I'm waiting for
very
mine
on
too.
top of it.
Although the nonprofit that's in charge of trying to get us to vote keeps sending us applications for mail-in ballots, even though we've already sent in one. So I've gotten 5 now. One wasn't addressed to me, but it was addressed to my apartment. 4 were addressed to me specifically, and Vanessa has gotten 4 addressed to her specifically now. So between the two
That
of
was
us,
3.
so between the two of us, we have a number.
9.
Is that no in
Maybe.
German, or are you?
The number 9. 8 plus
yeah.
1. Because you each
The
got
number
4, and then there was
9.
one that was just to the apartment.
Number.
That sounds correct. Oh, I did hold up 3 fingers. You're right.
3 fingers.
There we go.
Oh, man.
I'm also learning.
Xander, are you having a stroke?
Well,
You have COVID and a stroke at the same time. You smell what?
I hope not. My sense of smell and taste are pretty okay right now, actually. And I know that because I had Chinese food for lunch, which is weird that we just call it Chinese food, Americanized Chinese food.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
fine.
The end of
Fair
that
enough.
story. So anyway, the tray
Wait,
table was
wait,
broken.
Wait. So your smell of taste is good. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking like your sense
What?
of smell.
Did you say
being-
smell of
Yes.
taste is good?
sense of
Peter.
taste?
Peter, are you having a stroke?
Reals.
Always.
Hold both of your
That's how I
arms
do.
up like this. Okay, you're fine.
You know, all of our
Really
audience
maintaining
out
that
there,
chaotic neutral right now.
I
aren't we?
mean,
our audience of 9/11 first responders that have motorcycles as hobbies, and are recovering from a stroke. They're all
And have a hook
that
hand.
One person and a hook hand. They're gonna be so offended by this episode.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We're really narrowing
Well.
the demographic for our appeal.
Mm.
I can't even remember what I was talking about.
Qui-Gon Bowers
Uh,
says we're up on their 55-inch TV this week. I feel like we got a promotion. So.
Oh my gosh.
I do.
How are my pores looking?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, can we get your cat back in here to just,
No, she is gone. She
my
did
cats?
not like the noises I was making.
Last time I recorded in here, they
Shocker.
interested. This time, I think they're just
Relatable.
sleeping downstairs. Xander, so you, I think mostly at this point just haven't gotten really a good enough look at or understanding of their transport systems to have any clue whatsoever how to synthesize that with your bikes. I think even this is kind of giving you more than your role justifies, but you definitely, if you want to get there, you're gonna need to like talk to and trade more with them.
Okay. So
It's
far, I've
the-
just learned that we need more wheels.
Yeah.
The speed
Yeah, some
bikes, I
more
got
wheel-
2. Transport trucks,
They-
they've got more than 2.
Well, their trucks were on treads. I did.
I could be wrong.
Pretty
It might just be
Cheryl's
2 then.
nodding, and
Longer
she
wheels.
checks
Longer
the
wheels. That's the
podcast,
solution.
so that probably means I'm right.
It
or at
doesn't
least
mean
it's-
my memory is reliable at this point in the year,
That's
decade, whatever this is
fair.
that we're having. I don't know anymore.
It's the start of a new decade.
yeah.
Pause for dramatic effect.
No,
It just
it
makes me
is.
tired.
Anyone who like fights about that. Like, it kind of makes sense for millennia, but it doesn't make any damn sense for decades, which are always classified by, like, the start of the year, even though culturally that's not quite how they tend to work. Like, what you think of as the 60s culturally is kind of 65 to 75. Anyhow, I've gone off the rails myself here.
Oh,
So
we
that's
need,
good.
like, bowling bumpers for this show. Like,
I like that metaphor a lot.
That's fair. So yes. So Xander.
Has anyone heard people referring to the 90s as the 90s, and it feels weird?
Yeah.
Like in the same way they refer to the 80s.
Yep.
90 kids know what I'm talking
90
about.
kids.
All right. No, 90. Exactly 90.
90 there are
kids.
90 kids out there who know what you're talking
I misspoke and I will stand behind it.
about.
That is my family way. Does anyone else want to do like a family move or just kind of, we've got, so Peter, I believe last time, you did a trade roll that went, I think, well. There's a miss here, but I don't remember. But the second convoy kind of comes soon. Peter's worked out his trade in advance. I don't know how. It doesn't matter. That's really more mechanically the case than it is like literally the case anyways. But did anybody else kind of... Xander, you were trying to figure out transport stuff with them. Has the Institute been informed at this point? Because like...
Yeah, so I
right.
I don't remember exactly how it unfolded, but they did end up knowing about it. Yes.
When they'd left, you were like, oh, I should tell everyone else in addition to just the ripples.
The way it went down was something along the lines of, oh, there are other factions. That's right. How embarrassing. And then you gave them like a very like vague, cryptic, like, hey, by the way, some traitors came by message. Might
come by next month.
Yeah.
Right? Did you tell them that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Peter found out somehow, so by listening into our out-of-game conversation.
Peter will find a way to insert himself into anything.
No,
so just
that's the whole
hello.
point of this system.
As we learned, Peter is all around us.
That's true.
Over there.
Yeah. I am Big Brother, actually.
That's
like
fair.
it's me. It's been me
so
all
yeah,
along.
Sheryl or Jordan, did either of you kind of in advance of their second convoy want to do anything in preparation? Or Jordan, are you even paying attention to this?
I don't think the Institute really is.
Okay, cool. Do you want to be doing anything in the meantime?
Inventing sports
where we left off last time.
Inventing sports that use fuel rods.
I mean, you were working with the supercomputer that stole a fuel rod for you, a control rod, not a fuel rod. Related but different.
Let me bring up the handbook really quick. Come back to me.
Yeah, for sure. Sheryl, you are much more involved in this than, well, I just mean you talked to him last time and therefore have a bit more handle.
Yeah, I think we worked out a trade relationship already.
What was that? Remind me.
Oh God. I know that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I have one. I have one treaty on them, but I don't. I think I gave them trade goods and they gave me something. I don't know. I don't remember what I got from them.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I know we made a deal. Yeah.
So yeah, we swapped around their pluses and needs. They are what they are now, and I don't remember what happened to them before that, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay, but are you doing like kind of Peter's faction assembled kind of like some trade goods to do it? I guess is there any tech you're looking for from them? Info you're looking for from them?
Not especially. I didn't have anything that I could think of that I really like needed or wanted from them at the moment. Yeah, I have an idea of something I'd like to do, but it's not along this narrative line. So
go ahead. This is what is that like?
I'm
kind
just
of chronologically. This what happens before that, so let's find out,
Well, so this need for fresh water is just a real pain, especially
Right,
because
and you've got...
our settlement is expanding. So I really think that...
Plus all the other factions tease the Ripples for being named after water and not having access to water, so...
It's everywhere, but not
Sure,
a drop
that
to
too.
drink. It's very
Yeah.
ancient mariner-esque.
Yeah. We definitely trod that ground last time, too.
We did. To the ground, I would say.
The only epic poem any of us have memorized.
Okay.
I have not...
The Walrus and the Carpenter.
Oh, that's a
were
good one.
walking
No.
close at hand.
Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the
Jimbo
wave.
shit. All mimsy were the
Dad
both.
loved
Laurel
that
groves
one.
and the mome rats out grave.
I've got a Shakespeare sonnet that I memorized in the 8th grade, and it's still stuck in my brain somehow, but I'm not going to do that
I
right
used to
now.
know the Canterbury Tales in Old English, like the opening. That one's good, too. Yeah.
So, yeah, you've got freshwater needs.
Yeah, so it's a real pain, especially because our settlement is expanding and we have all these new recruits and stuff. So at some point, I would like to take an excursion, either of just Ripples or of, anyone who wants to come, to the freshwater spring, and maybe also what it says on the map is slaughterhouse, parentheses, big, with lots of question marks after it.
If I remember, it was because the family playbook that made it happen, I want to say Peter's, was like a slaughterhouse that's as big as a chapel, and then we were like, aren't slaughterhouses mostly about that big anyways?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't seem huge for a slaughter, so...
Yeah, so,
I can...
So, yeah, I think...
Cathedral-sized, yes.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Yeah, so
I
I
was
think...
going to say chapel doesn't sound that big. Cathedral is, yeah.
Cathedral, that's big, but it's not like... That's big.
Actual slaughterhouses
Yeah,
are still way bigger than even a normal cathedral. They're
See?
massive.
See?
I try not to go to slaughterhouses.
So
Yeah.
that's why it's not big. Anyhow.
Okay. So yes, I would like to go to the
Or cathedrals.
the Schrodinger slaughterhouse and the freshwater spring at some point, but that might be its own thing. So yeah, I'm just letting you know that that's a thing that's on my mind, but we don't have to do that now.
Yeah, that one might that does seem like something we could maybe kind of zoom in on the in the second half. There we go. Jesus.
We got there together.
Nap after that one. All right.
That's okay. Sheryl can edit it in post.
Cheryl, fix this, please.
Sheryl, if you're listening to this right now, you're a cool person and we love you.
Yeah. We're sorry, Sheryl.
I'm
Future
not sorry, Sheryl. Future Sheryl.
Most of us are sorry, future Sheryl.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Jesus. All right.
So sorry.
Next up, Peter. Actually, that might be the thing. So Xander, I think you're the only one with kind of a major to do in this next caravan arrival. If you want to try and do some sort of technology swap. Sheryl, you're right. You already had a trading thing, and I think now they're coming with whatever it was, and so now technically the need would be resolved instead of when it was. It doesn't matter to me, obviously. And then Peter, you already had a deal, and I don't remember what it was, but we already modified your needs about it as well as my memory as well. So Xander, if you're looking to get rid of this transport need via transport need via negotiations or something else, let's do that.
Yeah, so I can't remember like for family moves, I know that there are reach, grasp, and sleight. My family has really good grasp. Is that something I could use in this situation?
Grasp is, I think, the seized by force one, and as such, I'm less good about what. Let me just double check. I think if you were to try to use grasp, it comes up for a claim by force. So that would be more if you were trying to commandeer their vehicles or something, a vehicle or a raid or something like that, which like you could do if you want. But it definitely does, I think, represent a fairly aggressive stance. Which, I mean, or you could maybe try a midnight raid, and that might impact their decisions to come back.
Are you considering post-apocalyptic horse wrestling? Is that or?
Well, but with treaded vehicles.
Yeah, my family move. Am I unmuted? Sorry.
No, you're good.
My family move isn't going to be of any help. I was just looking it up. Could I do? Well, I don't really know what I can do as a family, because my family move is ear to the ground, which has nothing to do with this.
Okay. Well, here, let's give me, tell you what, let me go over to the moves section. There's a conduct diplomacy roll, so if you give me a reach roll, we can kind of see where you're at in terms of, or see kind of how this starts out, and then move it to a character level and let Ganymede kind of be personable and use those interpersonal moves.
Gotcha. Oh, whoa, nice.
Ho ho ho.
12 for reach.
Nice.
12 for reach. All right, well, that gets you a meeting. So
thank you,
yeah.
Thank you for meeting me here. Please ignore the pizza boxes.
Oh, hang on, I don't need a character
We're saving
voice.
them for a craft project.
So this kind of, I imagine this trader is probably in heavy, looks very much like they just came in from an Arctic expedition because they more or less did, with some goggles, and I think just for fun, we're gonna give them sort of a transpondery kind of voice, just like speaking through. So you got your pizza boxes. Anyway, sorry. Okay, what?
No, you're good. Does he look and sound a little like that cheese doodles guy?
That www.google.com. That.
Maybe you know. Well, no, I don't know. It was a video that I saw a while ago. I thought maybe it was more. Do you know?
I see. I was thinking I was honestly kind of thinking a little bit Brotherhood of Steel from Fallout.
Okay.
But like more Arctic in terms of their parkas mostly.
Sorry, I'm picturing that guy, but that guy might be a little more like Ganymede, so.
That guy's a little extreme. Yeah. Now that I've Googled it, I see Google that cheese puff dude. It did in fact work. So I don't know what that says about honestly anything, but especially the culture and times that we live in. Yeah. So basically, I guess the major question is kind of what are you offering at what kind of what are you looking for? What are you trying to? I know you're trying to improve your transport, but how? He asks.
So right now
you don't know. There's way too many layers to tell.
Right now we have good communication routes between the various settlements on the surface, but a lot of the paths are not being maintained very well, and so we have developed technology to move one person at a time on these paths. But as you may have noticed, since you've been traveling across the lands here, there are certain places where it would be highly convenient if we could find a way to transport multiple people from place to place. And as of right now, the best thing to do that is, well, I guess technically it was this giant monstrosity of a vehicle that belonged to what's that faction called again?
The Reckless Raiders, but now farmers, depending.
The artists formerly known as the Reckless Raiders. They had a really large vehicle that they were using to just kind of storm across the wastes out here. But that thing's broken down and has been for years. And so
We
we were
broke it
hoping.
down.
We broke it.
Yeah,
down.
details.
And now it's a vertical
Years
farm
ago.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
and now it's like a farmhouse now.
Farm. Like it's a farm.
They've got
It's like
some nice
farm.
shutters put up on it.
Mm.
I don't know. Trying to think of something
An
you put
awning.
on the outside of the farmhouse. There we go, an awning.
Mm-hmm.
They painted
Wrap
a
around
flower
porch.
box.
a hex
The
sign.
wraparound porch, nice.
A hex sign.
Yeah, you're from the East Coast. Haven't you seen these? In like so I feel like it's more prominent in like places where there are people with like Germanic, immigrant history. But a hex sign is the round symbol that you'll see on barns. It's often like an intricate sort of like old worldy art style. It's often like a white circle with some some sort of design or figure on it, and hex signs are painted on barns to protect them from like witches and the devil and stuff like that.
Does it work?
I don't know. If you
Have
really,
you ever seen a barn be attacked by a witch?
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
And if you really want to make sure that the devil won't get inside your barn, you make a round barn, because the devil likes to hide in the corners of buildings. I know
Interesting.
surprisingly
Practical
many
from
farm
an
and barn
architectural-
like fun facts.
So around here, it's all barn quilts. Like they're a big, which like was apparently also like a whole association with the Underground Railroad symbolism, stuff like that. So yeah, they're a big thing around here. So yeah, I can't even picture what you're talking about, which is weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
do a
look it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Let me make sure
Mr.
I'm
Google.
saying the right word.
that's fair.
Yeah, that's definitely the right word.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
They're very
what we were looking for from you guys was a
Mhm.
collaboration on a couple of things.
Yes.
One, we were hoping that we could decide on what paths we could use. That way you don't have to forge your own trails, and we don't have more trails to police. As you know, we are kind of the police force in at least this area. And if there are trails that traders are following, we would prefer if we could consolidate those to like, an established path. And two, we would be very interested in working on some kind of a multiple person transport system that we could use based on our speeder bike technology, but also based on the treaded technology that you have on your caravan.
Sweet. All right.
I think that would be beneficial to all of us. That way you don't have to head off in random directions if we have established trails.
Give me that sway roll on sway to just kind of that
how do I do that? Sorry.
that's 2d6 plus
Let's see. So I rolled for reach. Is there one called sway, or is that like
that's on the character, not the
it's on the
family.
character. That's why I'm
Yeah,
confused.
reach was to get the kind of talk with the guy. So he I mean, all that sounds pretty reasonable, and let's find out how much of a butt there is.
What?
All about the butt. Oh, Ganymede has 0 sway. That surprises me for some reason. Is there a way that I can use tech to take an advantage on this roll?
Is tech the one?
Because I have 5 tech, and I don't.
Tech is the one you spend to
I
get
believe
advantage,
so. Yeah. Spend it, yeah.
I think I did that right.
No, it looks like you did. Okay, so yeah, you got a 9. Which means it's a hit, but not a complete success. So I'm looking. Where's the diffuse? Not really diffuse as such. Okay.
And of course, when we're building the road through the settlement with spooky gravity, the road's going to have to like go up on the ceiling and then back down on the other side.
like a roller coaster. Woo!
Exactly, that'll be difficult to construct.
Be like a Mobius road.
But...
It's like
Makes
I
me
had that at
think
the.
the Mobius drag strip from Futurama.
I was thinking the Mathematica exhibit at the Boston Museum of Science. It's lovely. I have like a thing. I have like a giant Mobius strip that like a little arrow train that goes the whole way around to show that it actually does have just one side.
Sounds adorable.
It's very. I love that exhibit. I went to it a lot as a kid. Listen, it may in fact be the reason I am who I am today. That's all good and well. So I think then, they can kind of show you like the coming back. They used basically the same path they'd gone the first time, right? Because they already knew how to do that and had kind of the specific ways that were more blocked. And so they're pretty happy to draw that out on the map, and I will give that to you as kind of a route resource, basically. This is your road over here. You can control it, but it's also your responsibility, and you have to take good care of it and feed it. And no, hang on, patrol it and
That's
make sure
Neopets.
that bandits and nah, you don't have to feed your Neopets.
I always chose to, though.
Aw.
I mean, I did too, but like, I'm not going back because I don't care. Which is my main point.
Edit that out, Cheryl.
Sheryl, fix this. I don't need this blowback.
I cannot fix it.
Lord. But I think what on kind of, since you got a partial success on kind of the tech side of things, they'll happily show you like how their treads work. But like, these are explorers, right? Some of them are the engineers that kind of do the field maintenance, but they're not like the guys who really know, the ins and outs of these vehicles. They're the, traders and guards and foragers and whatever else. And so they don't really kind of know enough to help you a lot, but they can kind of, basically you're going to have to kind of take this idea and develop it, but you now have the secrets to tread technology, I guess.
Nice.
And kind of, so I don't think in that case it'll resolve your need, but it kind of gives you a direction, like something you can do to resolve it, you know what I mean? And yeah. Honestly, I think maybe the next thing to do is Cheryl's cool freshwater spring expedition. And I know it's a bit early for a bio break usually, but since it's like after 5 or whatever time, we're a little bit up for an hour in, and let's just take a little break and come back and see what that's like. Give me time to think about it.
Okay. So we're gonna go on a quick-ish break. You can do the same. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Qui-Gon, Bowers, and Nikki specifically for hanging out in the chat. Thank you. Peter's waving. We will be back soon. Okay, bye. Well, hey, we're back. Hi, we missed you. Yeah, we're back to do things. Hope you had a good bio break. Do the things.
Thanks.
You're in charge.
Yeah, sure. You were about to organize an expedition. So I was actually you're in charge because I need to know who are you inviting and how, right? Like you've decided that you're kind of going to this freshwater source and probably this slaughterhouse.
And how many of the people coming are humans, and how many of them are mollusks?
Cephalopods.
Cephalopods?
Both are correct. Cephalopods are a type of mollusk.
Yes!
Oh yeah, we've done this before, haven't we?
Almost lost my cred there.
Cheryl is nodding emphatically for our audio listeners.
I was like, the question, I was getting so drawn out. I was like, where are we going with this? Yeah.
I was wondering too.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah,
we'll probably take a few backpacktopusses. As far as like who's coming, I guess. What is that face you're making?
Me?
Yes, you.
It's just my face. I'm
That's
listening.
just Peter's face.
Yeah.
Really ideal if you can invite as many players as possible.
Right,
but I
yeah,
also
that's
understand.
That I was gonna say. I mean, I would definitely invite my friend Ganymede and some Bowerbirds because it's nice to have people
A
who
lot
at
of
least
knives.
give the illusion of being capable along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ganymede has kind of a weird, like, Aragorn style of
Yeah.
capability.
Yeah.
Like, he showed up with twigs in his hair long before anyone's discovered. We still haven't discovered trees. No one knows how he did that. But at the same time, why were they in his hair, you know?
International Man of Mystery.
So, a little,
So yeah, I'm definitely
Little
inviting Ganymede. And I would definitely also send something to the Institute because I know they're nice to have along for, you know, tech capabilities and whatever. So if you'd like to come, you are invited. I don't really know what to do with the shepherds because
that was.
we know that they had all kinds of like whatever going on, and I don't know this new person who's in charge. If she's actually, I don't know if she's in charge or if she's just a representative.
Peter, what is that?
We're an anarcho something commune, you know.
So this is like
no one's in charge.
When you're playing Civ and you go into a revolution and you just like can't do anything for a few turns. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Until we evolve some system of government, we're all just gonna insist that no one's in charge until we get tired of that.
Bi-weekly.
Yes.
I remember the Monty Python bit by word, but pretend that instead of making yet another Monty Python reference in a roleplay game podcast. All right, let's move on.
So I don't know what to do with the shepherds.
I could roll up a Bowerbirds character.
Okay.
I'm fine being like a I could roll up a grad student. Who wants me?
I mean, that's fair. Jordan, I don't.
Let me answer that question.
Really know
I want you,
if
Peter.
Oh, yay.
Okay. Is this something you want to send Lissa on? Like, it kind of makes sense, but
that works for me.
Okay, cool. As a kind of major-ish expedition, it seems like something she'd be interested in. Because I think you're still unless you're like specifically trying to exclude kind of anyone else from the former city, I have to imagine you probably get at least a few of those sort of in the same volunteers from.
You can play Nemo if you want.
I don't actually know that any of those main three factions really needs to get in, even if they knew. So yeah, okay.
Although he is a rival of Ganymede, so.
Yeah, I feel like I want to be your protege.
Ooh.
Does he have a protege? Whoa.
I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I want.
No, I'm like.
Hang on.
Can you imagine having Ganymede as your mentor?
Yeah. No, but like it's like a very Frodo sort of thing. Just like what do you think? It's like a teenage kid kind of follows him around and wants to be him, sort of deal.
Yes. This is a hero worship kind of thing where it's like,
wow,
like Ganymede owes my mom several favors, and so he has to bring me along. I am a 16-year-old fanboy, Ganymede fanboy intern.
Absolutely.
Ganymede owes your mom some favors, huh?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jordan.
Exactly what you
think. Is Peter's character secretly Ganymede's child?
Maybe.
That's canon.
I can't do that for Ganymede. I can't make that character choice for somebody else.
Xander's making a face, so I'm gonna say yes.
Chaos.
Secretly, and I don't know that even Ganymede knows.
No one expected
maybe
Ganymede's
really
bloodline to
secret.
continue.
I am as surprised as anyone, believe me. All right, well, then why don't you get to rolling that up? We can do something we haven't done in a little bit, which is zoom in on some characters going on an expedition.
Yay! I don't remember how to make a quick character.
Oh my god.
It's
literally a step-by-step thing in the
handouts.
book.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. I'll figure it out.
In fact, we keep calling it rolling up, but there is no rolling. You just pick some stats.
You assign some numbers.
Yeah.
It says rolling somewhere, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's just in my head. I don't know.
We'll just roll with it.
Don't care. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
But Yeah, so okay, from the Bowerbirds then. So they are the lawgivers, just so when you're trying to figure out where the inheritance moves are.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I see it.
No problem. In the meantime, now I need to find where the zoom in move is. So here's the story moves. Here we go. Okay. So the main characters present say what they're there to do, which I think actually, so which are you starting with? Between
So I think they're kind of in this area together. I think it would be nice to investigate the remains of this Schrodinger-sized slaughterhouse ruins thing.
It's like a cathedral size. We're just not sure if that's big or not.
Okay.
We know like definite its size. We don't know how big it is for a slaughterhouse.
This slaughterhouse that might be large and might be small.
For a slaughterhouse.
For a slaughterhouse.
But it's definite in its cathedral equivalence of size.
There's actually an interdimensional space inside it so that it's, bigger on the inside. So I think it would be nice to go there first and sort of like make sure that whole area is secure, and then we can like sort of, that would allow us to then establish this like some infrastructure to be able to have like consistent access to the freshwater spring, because like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine the spring is just like a spring. So there's
yeah, and it's kind of going into the oceans.
I like to think of it as one of those hot springs that the monkeys take baths in.
Sure, but I guess where I was going with this is it's not like we're going on a mission to the freshwater spring and like killing a bunch of zombies in order to secure it or something like that. It's just like there.
I think it was kind of the first time, because you did try this and it didn't go that well, and I think it was largely because getting infrastructure set up well, trying to integrate your new recruits, just like there wasn't enough familiar voters.
Depends on how angry the macaques are that we're stealing their vacation spot.
I mean, we're not taking it anywhere. We're just collecting water from it.
Oh. Also, it tastes a bit like monkey.
Volcano-y?
Huh?
I mean,
also, volcano-y.
I mean the ones that the macaques hang in.
A list of Jupiter's moons, in case you're interested in names, Peter.
Like, there might be some thermal hot springs, but they're probably not over where the fresh springs are.
I mean, okay, so there is a volcano on the map, which implies that there is a crack in the crust or, like, the joining of two tectonic plates somewhere around here. So, a hot springs, not that unbelievable.
That's true. I guess that's not that far from where the volcano is, so... Yeah, okay. I guess freshwater hot spring.
Cool.
All right, cool.
If we give that water to the octopuses, they'll be like, oh, it tastes like monkey and it's nice and it's like bath water.
It does not taste like monkey because there aren't surface monkeys.
Sorry, I thought Xander was speaking that into existence.
Well, there's you. No. He can try. I respect it. Okay, so then... Cool. So that's where we're going first. Is anyone kind of, I guess, between Lissa and Ganymede, kind of have any other things that they are looking specifically to do here, or is it more kind of be part of an expedition that's exploring a new thing in kind of both cases?
I'm trying to deal with the map again, except Roll20 isn't happy with me ever.
Yeah. That's Roll20. But at least...
No, I think Lissa's just here to help explore
be an expert and
ideally get some access to some water for the Institute, et cetera, yeah. But nothing related to the rest of the stuff at the Institute today.
Okay. Cool. And Xander, similar? You're just here to be on the expedition? rather than you're here mostly to be on the expedition. Rather than, is there any kind of thing you're looking to get out of this?
Oh, just securing a road. Yeah, finding a path.
Yeah, making sure.
Finding. Navigation.
Okay. Cool.
No ulterior motives.
For sure.
I do have spies everywhere, according to my surpluses list.
So many spies.
That's true. Some of them are spying on himself, though.
One of the names on this list. One of the names on this list of Jupiter's moons is really funny.
Which one is it?
I don't want to say it.
You don't want to say it out loud. I can't look at the list because I'm broadcasting my Zoom. That's unfair. I want to see it or hear it.
Well, if Peter chooses it as his name, you'll get to hear it a lot.
Okay.
Jupiter Lee. I think that's 51 and 52, but aren't there? I thought there were more than 52.
There's no way I'm not going to mispronounce literally all of these. Oh, I found it. Oh, wow.
Okay. You want to tell me what it is? The audience wants to know. I'm sure the audience wants to know.
There are more than 49 moons, but these are the ones that aren't the 4 biggest that have names. There are a bunch of smaller ones that don't have names yet.
How about you just
type
it into the chat so at least the Twitch followers, because Nikki and Qui-Gon Bowers both want to know.
All right.
At least type it into the chat. Sorry, podcast people and YouTube people. Nobody's brave enough to tell me what the name of this moon is.
Since it's not on our block terms list yet.
Oh my god.
God.
Wow, that's...
I don't know.
It's a real moon.
Okay, so are all of them the names?
Don't just Google it, though. Don't just Google it.
Yeah, wow. Qui-Gon Bowers,
it begins with
that comment was really poorly timed. Okay, but I have to know, like, are all of the moons, the names of the moons of Jupiter?
Yes, all the names of the moons of Jupiter.
Are they all from Roman mythology? Like where did that name come from?
I will ask Mr. Google.
Don't
Google
that. Don't Google it. I tried and it did not. It was like, oh right.
Cue Vanessa walking in 3, 2. Actually, no. Knowing Xander, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's totally normal research for him."
She has stories of walking in on me researching some really weird stuff.
Oh, I'm crying.
So when I found out that my name was in a medical textbook, Xander's ligament is in a gynecology textbook.
Yeah.
She walked in on me looking at a bunch of pelvic diagrams.
Yes.
Because that's the page of the textbook that Xander's ligament shows up on. And I was like, look, I'm in a medical textbook. Next to, all that.
A pelvic.
All that.
Yeah. All that. At first, she was very confused.
Okay. So on the NASA website, it is spelled with an E at the end.
Okay.
So
I feel like you could still mispronounce that in a way that would be.
Yeah. But that definitely miles better.
So everybody on the podcast, you're just gonna have to go look up a list of Jupiter's moons.
And then figure out which one it is. Yeah.
All right.
It starts with M.
Yeah, I'll say the Wikipedia article also has an E on the end of it, so it's much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I did find it spelled a lot of places without the E too. So the drama unfolds.
Fascinating. Anywho,
there are more hits without the E.
Yeah.
What are they about moons?
Are they about moons?
I will go through and individually vet
6 kilometers in diameter. I'm just saying, like, guys, this is a big moon.
I mean, it was easy to discover.
Easy to find.
I don't know. It took some guy until 2000 to discover it.
Okay, I'm gonna try and recover podcast stream that we're doing. We're zooming in and gearing up.
Here's the joke. Wow.
Okay, good work.
It's officially the worst thing that's ever happened on this show.
I'm glad.
Right.
I'm glad. No. There's no question about it. This is the most derailed we've been on Nature Check, which is a lot.
I feel like this has definitely been the most chaotic episode.
Yeah.
Like the tangents have been 90% of the show.
We do what we can here. We're trying to zoom in, but then this happened.
Yeah, it's a good
Does
thing
anyone
I
want
put
to
on waterproof
pick
mascara.
equipment?
What?
Does anyone want to pick equipment, or are we just still all too busy laughing?
Shoot.
I get it.
Can't bring my octopuses.
Oh yeah,
That's
right.
what we need the water for.
Yeah, that was the need thing.
Okay.
Until you fix that, you
I
don't
am
have
octopusless.
octopus friends for now.
Yeah.
That's so sad. So, player selects gear, and then with your various surpluses, with Sheryl, you have infinity. We're adding some tags.
I don't have infinity. I only have 5. I only have 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I have morale, scouts, motivation, peace, and leadership.
Okay. I forgot to delete something. Fair enough. Cool. Well, but you do have, many, right, knives?
No, I have
spears.
I have many fishing spears, yeah.
It's Ganymede who has many knives.
Yes, between us we have infinity blades.
Quite a few. And what was your other thing? Where like
grappling rigs. Yeah.
Which what are those? Those were like kind of throwing nets, weren't they?
Yeah, that's how we had used it. I realized in retrospect
Could
that
be hook shots.
I was gonna say I realized in retrospect that I think the authors might have meant more like the thing that they wear in Attack on Titan. Because it's
I haven't seen that one, but sure.
The grappling rings are listed under like defense, and so yeah, I realized in retrospect that it might be more like that. But I like the throwing net. I think that's cool. And that's how we used it before. So yeah.
A spear and net is a defensive, offensive thing. So depending on your combat style, nets can be very defensive. Listen, I've done historical weapons.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I was a nerd-ass nerd in high school. I don't know what to tell you.
So let's say there are nets in HEMA.
Okay, so that I just have those two things right now.
Okay, and you get to add still like 5 tags.
Oh my god.
For your morale, scouts, motivation, peace, and leadership.
Okay, so I think my fishing spears already had melee and brutal on them, and my grappling rigs already had mobile and utility on them. So right. I added many to fishing spears, and I added tough to grappling rigs.
Love that.
Gosh, I don't really know what other qualities to add.
Well, the gear section, kind of under armory and outfit are kind of the areas you might want to look at adding tags from.
Yeah, is that what page is that on the? Is that on the handouts?
I don't know that it is. It's 62 in the big book.
62 in the big book. Why isn't the big book loaded? There we
go. Because it's big.
And well, also because my laptop doesn't play nicely with the Wi-Fi. Please hold.
Valid.
Please hold.
Fair. So let's see. So that accounted for.
I added 2.
It didn't really add. Yeah.
All right. So I have 3 more. Scrolling. Okay, page 62. Okay. Let's see. I can add, let's see, silent to the fishing spears. Oops.
Ooh.
What did I just do? Oh god. What's happening here? Yeah. Silent to the fishing spears, because that makes sense.
That's true. That's true.
And I'm gonna add non-lethal to the grappling rig net, because that makes sense if you just like tangle somebody up in it.
Incapacitates, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to have access to.
And one more. Oh boy. Oh, I don't know.
What about down in outfit camo, maybe? Just to, because from spies, if you stay still, you'll be overlooked in a natural environment.
Yeah, sure. Let's add that. Okay. I have camo. Cool.
Wait, you have scouts. That's close enough. That makes more sense than spies in this kind of case anyways. Cool. Yeah. All right. Jordan, you had weird grenades, something else, and a third thing. Hang on.
Good list.
Thank you. Gosh. I know you had like a vehicle thing.
Mobile ICU.
Yep.
And I can't remember what the other thing is. I thought the other thing was the grad students.
Oh yeah, the other thing was the grad students. That's right. Excellent.
Thing.
Perfect.
I mean,
followers are a type of asset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was listening to a congressional hearing where they were talking about grad students, and they kept calling them human capital. So.
Yep. Well.
That's my human capital.
That's your human capital. Excellent. So you had, I think, let's see, engineering, morale, and spies as your surpluses. Yes. I do not remember what we usually added to I think we added grad student quality twice was what we did prior. Do you want to?
Yes, I think.
Because that's one of the things you can do with assets. Or with, surpluses as you zoom in. I need to go back to the zoom in move. You ever notice how we need more than 2 copies of the thing sometime when you're running it? Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it zooming in? Get that tool up. Yeah, there we go. So you can add tags, add quality, get outfit the whole party, or get some bonus data with the last one. After.
Do I have data?
Do you? I haven't been keeping
data is
track
absolutely
of
nowhere in any of my notes. So my assumption is no.
I think last time, because I used data for something, and then you and Peter both wanted to do that as well, and then you both realized you didn't have data?
You have tech and not data.
Okay. I have a ton of tech and no data.
Okay.
I have like 5 tech. Can I have one data?
Yeah, take a data. Take a data for your surplus of spies.
Yeah.
That makes pretty complete sense when you think about it. Xander, you had many knives, speeder bike, and tough armor.
The improvised armor is tough.
Yeah.
And I have 4 surpluses.
Yep.
So that means I get to pick one more.
You usually I think add many to your knives, defense to your
tough armor, and then I can't remember what to the speeder bikes.
Medicine of some sort was I think.
Well, Ganymede has the ability
to.
Ganny has the ability to pull medicine out of his pockets.
Yeah, but I
because
think
of his ability, just enough.
Oh, there we go. The med kind of gave yourself a pseudo med bay thing, which makes you heal better. So that's good. And now you have spies as well, and can do the same set of things. New tag, more data, more quality. You don't have followers, so that doesn't quite or equip everyone.
Is there a way to improve? You have a recommendation?
Um. I mean, I think you, broadly speaking, have the tags that make sense for your thing, and data's always pretty solid to have. I mean, kind of have enough facets. I wouldn't, if I were you, hate grabbing that one as well.
Okay.
Like Jordan did.
That sounds good to me.
Cool. Peter, have I bought you enough time?
Yes. I both found the page that tells me how to make a quick character. And,
excellent.
And selected animal companion.
Oh,
super.
Wait.
I remember that one. Sure. Wait, isn't that from
that,
your...
you made a quick character for your own. Yeah.
Not an animal companion. Damn it, I'm on the wrong page.
Yes, okay.
Loyal steed. That's what I wanted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Living mount
Mostly.
that is always nearby. Whistle, and it'll be with you in a few moments. Can't believe that Xander hasn't used this yet.
What is your
why?
Steve?
Because I was gonna say Xander mostly doesn't play his own quick characters in his defense. Like, you can grab inheritance moves, I think, for your character moves if you're feeling it, but there's certainly a lot of character options. Yeah.
Yeah, so, the loyal steed mount that you can whistle for.
Yeah,
I think sounds like a good option.
Well, and my loyal steed is my only friend because Upori is a nerdy kid who gets beat up a lot. So he's, you know, his
what's the name?
Upori.
Pori. All right.
Found it. Yep.
Also known as Jupiter XXXIV.
Gesundheit.
Only 2 kilometers in diameter.
34?
Yes.
Nice. Cat. Sorry, your cat is
so cute.
Very good.
All right.
Look at that good window cat.
Perfect. Excellent. Peter, you can keep talking, but I'm not going to be listening. But like you should. So I think you also get the.
Come here.
I think you get knives, but not many, and likewise armor, but not tough. But it is the standard things, unless those are the standard tags that Xander's thing has. You get the standard tags. You don't get to add tags because you're not like the main character of this family right now.
All of your stuff is just a little less good.
It's just a little less good. You're like, it's like homemade is.
I was figuring it was like hand-me-downs.
Oh yeah.
Like I got it like used and it doesn't fit super good.
The helmet's like 2 sizes too big.
Yeah, I found it in a compost bin or something, trash pile, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, junk heap.
Yeah, the junk heap.
Perfect. Yeah, okay, let me just double check. So, yeah. Where? Oh, gosh. Excuse me. I'm just looking for the gear stuff. There it is. Okay. Yeah, okay. Your melee and hidden are the tags on the assassination blades when they are not many. And the armor is still tough and utility. Oh, I think so Xander, you already have tough. I think what we added was the other version of tough, but against hardened. That's the one.
Hardened,
it's also tough against kind of unnatural stuff like radiation and whatnot. Cool. Okay, so you find yourself at what looks awful lot like a gigantic barn. A cathedral-sized barn, one might say. Which is, of course, according to the old scouting reports, an abandoned slaughterhouse, which there are high windows that have been kind of climbed up to, I think is how. So picture it like, I think, 4, 5, cathedral, so is 8 or 9 stories tall, I think. Feels right for like the real big bad boys of cathedrals. And kind of the top 2-ish stories of that have sparse kind of but large windows. Kind of so windows like 10 meters ish long, and then it's like 30 meters of wall, which is I think kind of brick and stone sort of deal. Probably something slightly tougher, maybe concrete. Anywho, I'm not gonna get caught up in this again. I refuse. But yeah, there's some windows.
Yeah, we don't have an art style for this
to get
building
in
yet.
What's the one Picasso did?
I have a tangent.
You have a tangent?
Yeah, you'll see it in your emails.
What?
According to the International Astronomical Union, there was a naming mishap when it came to megaclite.
Oh, we're saying it now. Okay.
They had to send out a correction back in 2002. And so I sent an email to the doctor whose name is on that correction, the corrigendum, saying, here's the correct name of the moon, asking for clarification if that's why it's all over the internet with a misspelling or what exactly happened there. So I BCC'd all 4 of you on the email so you can take a look at what I said, and then we'll see if he responds.
Stay tuned, listeners. We'll have a special extra episode to cover what happens.
That's
with
always one thing that we found over at 12 Tone is that reaching out to academics is fun and
we
productive.
like it when people want to know more about our research. Please email an academic or a researcher if you're curious about anything, I guess. I'm sure that poor guy has
I bet, like that guy, like emailing this guy and be like, hey, this embarrassing fuck up you did 20 years ago, do you want to talk about it for
well, he might just have been in charge of the newsletter. I'm not sure the naming mishap was his fault at all.
Is it Shepard?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cat's on the cabinet.
If you knock one of those camera lenses off, we're gonna have words later, okay?
Oh no.
Cool.
Well, you're gonna have words. She's just gonna sit there and look at you.
So like kind of a giant sliding door like you would see in a barn, kind of on the front. Again, not wooden, but instead probably a corrugated metal. Meant to be both easily moved by its lightweightness, but robust.
Oh no, folks! They've teased it by saying it'd be easy to open, but it is a door, and we are us. So
no, it's rusty. It's
I'm not opening this door.
That's smart.
No, go.
Okay, guys, I have a companion animal. I'll make it open the door. It'll be fine. What could go wrong?
What is your companion animal?
Yeah.
The only non-insect animals that we've really encountered on land around here are the snow leopards. So
I don't think so.
Cheryl, later just dub over Jareth's voice and say, "I love it," and I'll allow it.
You could probably find a clip. I've said that before.
Well, you said I love that for you, and I want you to have it before. I know you said that.
Well, there we go. See, Sheryl, keep that clip on lock, and I won't have to cheat him ever again. No, but I mean, like, horses probably weren't it. I think definitely since the shepherds have largely been in charge of large animal breeding in your section, it is probably. Have they let? It's up to you, I guess, how much they've let kind of the riding stock out. Probably not that much.
We also have cats and dogs.
But there are definitely cats, dogs. I'm just trying
spiders.
to think what sort of riding.
High altitude alpacas.
Yeah, okay. That be probably sure. Why not? Let's keep alpacas. What the heck?
Whales.
You have an alpaca.
There are whales. I don't think they've been in any sense domesticated. In
No.
this
Can you ride alpacas?
No, they're more.
There's
Okay,
too
so
small.
this is a giant alpaca?
Oh, right, this is a steed.
Loyal steed that comes when I whistle.
Do llama?
Maybe you're just really small.
The Lone Ranger. Aww. I am.
I was gonna point out that this character voice sounds suspiciously like the Cedric character voice, but you know.
Wait, I didn't intend to actually do a character voice. That was just my excited voice.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe your Cedric character voice is just Peter, but excited.
No, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Stop in the name of the law. Get him, Chauncey. And then the alpaca goes.
I was figuring since I was 16 that it was going to be a lot of like, oh, guys, wait for me.
Wait, so if he's
I'm gonna have to listen to that again.
that means
Sorry,
he's
Sheryl.
grown up fully in the sun world.
Ooh.
Not
Well,
like
that
now,
vitamin
probably,
D.
but well, go ahead. But
It's like talking to people who weren't alive before the year 2000. Anyway.
yeah,
Tell me about Y2K,
Babies.
you guys.
Wow. It was really,
dad was
it was
a
really
computer scientist.
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
well, because a lot of people
Right.
put in a huge
Yeah.
amount of. Like my dad's a computer scientist, so I've heard this rant so many times that I feel obligated to inflict it secondhand. You know what I mean?
Sure, yep, that's what we're here for.
But no, that one was definitely weird and interesting, and they fixed it because people working together was the thing back then. Oh, gosh.
Remember
And it would be again.
cooperation.
So yeah,
Yeah, that was
giant
dope.
barn door. It's on kind of rollers.
Yep.
It's certainly kind of rusty. So like, hopefully somebody brought WD-40.
I
I'm
only have
hoping it doesn't present a
WD-39.
huge
What'd you
challenge.
say?
But you find one more? Do you think?
Well, if we had a shepherds of the
Well, we don't.
What is it?
They're not here.
Catacomb.
There it is. Shepherd of the Combs. If we had a shepherd of the Combs here, we could use some of their probably bug spit lubricant or something. But it seems like we're gonna have to come up with.
That sounds
You know.
super gross.
Why are you doing this?
I love this. No, never stop, Peter.
Oh,
Until you stop
okay.
playing this character.
I-
Hang on, no,
wait,
Peter.
wait,
you
was that-
have to
sorry,
stop playing this character.
My headphone kind of fizzled for a minute. Was that Jareth volunteering to edit the podcast? Is that?
I don't have that kind of attention span.
Neither do I. Have you seen how long it takes for them to come out?
I thought it was intentional.
Oh, that's good. That's
Later,
good.
so that I can that's fine. Catch up for 2 weeks. I don't remember what I said 2 weeks later. I do need an audio reminder. Listen.
Well, Sheryl will sometimes text me the funny things that I say, and I'll
Yep.
be like, "Oh yeah."
I did say that.
I do that.
Well, there we are.
It's a way of shaming me, but I haven't learned my lesson yet.
Yeah.
Fix this door problem, you
Okay.
monsters.
Hey, I expect someone in the Bowerbirds or Spider Hunters or whoever you are to have something. Or maybe the tech
Ganymede,
people.
do you have something in your pocket?
Oh yeah, your pockets. Your pockets have everything in them.
Yeah, I can use just enough to find one of 6 items, although I'll have to look up what they are.
I hope one of them is an oil can. Oil
I
can.
don't know if weird grenades would be useful for indoors, but my assumption is actually no.
Wizard
Depends on how
of
weird
they
Oz
are.
reference.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go through the door. If you want to throw a weird grenade at some other part of the building. If
Well,
I've
that's
learned,
they're ever grenades, so they don't. Yeah.
What was
I see,
because
I see.
the specifics of their thing was kind of basically non-fragmentation was kind of
Yeah. They
they
don't
kind of
blow things up per se.
I can find some booze or some smokes.
You know, you could probably
That doesn't solve the problem, but that
lubricate
does. You know,
we can't use
Not even-
the booze to lubricate.
forget about the problem.
Okay.
That actually does make sense. I don't know that booze is a particularly
All right.
More so than water at any
Ganymede
rate.
pulls out a fifth of whiskey. Is that a measurement?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank goodness. I've
It's a
never once
fraction.
drank whiskey in my life.
Yeah, but it's a fraction of a
And I've
gallon.
never touched a motorcycle, so that's how you know.
Right,
I'm cool
yep,
there.
yeah.
A drinking profit.
You pull out a fifth of whiskey out of your pocket.
Right, and he attempts to lubricate the door with that.
All right. Why don't you give me a diffuse force roll with it? What the hell? Take advantage because you have a tool for the job.
Hey.
I don't know if it's the best tool for the job, but it's certainly a tool for the job. So
It
let's
is a
take
tool.
it. Does you're doing something, you know?
Partial success.
Hey.
All right. I'm not trying to gate this thing on a door, so it creaks open.
The door is made out of paper and it dissolves.
Made out of like rusty metal.
Let
so.
it be known to all youngling TTRPG players out there, if you really struggle hardcore with your first door, the game master will never make a door hard for you to open again.
That's true. Well, at least I'll decide which doors are worth my time. You know what I mean? It's not this one.
The first
We haven't
time
come
I
across
played
a
car
mimic
into
door
a door
yet.
to get it open.
Wait, what was that, Jordan?
We had to drive a car into a door to get it open
We
last
did.
time.
Yeah, that one had a way more important thing behind it. This has like an airplane hangar size. Cathedral size. I keep on.
The size of
Forgetting-
this building is blowing my mind.
Did
Well-
any of you guys try the knob?
There wasn't a knob,
There
it's a
wasn't a
slidey
knob.
door.
It's a slidey.
Smart ass
Handle.
teenager. I smack him with one of my many
Industrial.
fishing spears.
Do you?
Ow!
Ow.
I hate this voice.
The first time I played the Call of Cthulhu, I did spend 3 rounds of combat trying to open a door one time, so
To escape?
confirmed. Yeah.
That sounds like.
And then
good
Vanessa
use.
stabbed me because she was also playing. And that's when I knew she was the one.
Mm. I get it. No, I get it. I get it. That's,
Wow.
That's sweet. That's so
Sometimes
sweet.
the stars are right, you know?
So basically, what you kind of see in this.
That was a bit of
if it's
Cthulhu
not.
mythos. Sorry.
No, I was trying to move past it. But here we go.
We don't
so what
move
you
past
see-
anything on this show.
It's shaped
Whoa,
like
whoa,
an
whoa, slow
airplane
down.
hangar,
We still have
even if
tangents
it's
off
about
of
the
this tangent.
size of a
Sure.
cathedral.
Is it
And
as
so it has
fancy on
kind
the
of these-
inside as the airplane hangar where we all ate that green parfait breakfast, whatever that was, when we were still allowed to see people?
Oh.
Yeah. We were all there for that.
Con.
Except for Peter. Sorry,
Gosh.
Peter.
Oh yeah, I was like, I have no memory of this.
It's like a wooden airplane hangar.
YouTube,
Yeah.
YouTube's offices have like the old Spruce Goose hangar.
Oh yeah, Spruce
and-
Goose. There we go.
Mhm.
That's the one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're very.
And most people were very, very nice.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Most people.
Anywho,
Now I want to hear the tea about who you think was not nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I can tell you, I don't mind.
Oh,
Trace
God.
Dominguez wasn't nice to me.
oh,
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I was a big fan, and then he was just like dismissive. Yeah.
eh,
Everyone else was great.
fair. They tried to just. I was hanging, and most of it hanging and talk to people in the hallways, and they kept on coming up, being like, "Are you sure I can't help you find a seminar?" I was like, "Yes, thank you."
I mean, it was supposed to be for networking. But...
I do understand, but I was doing my own networking. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like I would. I don't care that much. Anyhow,
And
Now we
this
gotta
is-
now we gotta translate all that for Peter so that he can
Mhm.
feel like
no.
Yeah, cater to my feelings.
There are conveyor belts and like machines with like saws and things, many of which are rusty. In fact, kind of as the door slides open,
Oh, you're talking about the slaughterhouse, not the Spruce
Yes.
Goose hangar. Okay, yeah. I've been really confused there for a second. It's like, oh,
Nope,
you're gonna
that's
tell
fair.
me what it's like? Oh, there's conveyor belts and hooks? What?
No.
Slabs
There are
of meat in
hooks
YouTube
made.
headquarters?
Yes.
There's no
Exactly
slabs of
like
meat.
that.
It's been 1,000 years. Where would the slabs of meat?
We were the slabs of meat.
Whoa.
Capitalism.
All
Anyway,
along.
The creators are the...
That's
it's
not
not
it.
wrong. Anyway, there are no
as
slabs
the
of
door-
meat in the slaughterhouse.
Agreed. God, I don't even know what meat residue after 1,000 years would be, but probably not much.
Well, have you ever seen a mummy?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah, but just the
Anything.
residue. So I learned that
I just mean in terms.
I learned that in the meat processing industry, that's called pink slime.
Yes, I learned that from Minecraft.
Is that
So-
the thing that they make chicken
Minecraft.
nuggets
Modded.
out of?
Yeah. What's it?
Oh,
Sorry, what's that, Jordan?
No, I was asking if that's the stuff they make chicken McNuggets out of.
There
Or is
wasn't
that something
controversy
No,
else?
but it
about
does
that
get
for a
mixed into things like ground beef, apparently.
Oh, okay.
But like, so there's like special machines that like after they've cut like most of the meat off of the bones, there's like special machines that sort of like scrub all of the like little meat bits off of the bones, and that becomes the pink slime.
Kind of a meat slurry.
And that becomes
sort
the
of.
cat food.
Yeah, or they mix
Yeah,
it into
sort
things
of.
like ground beef or whatever. But yeah,
Right, and stock, and yeah, that makes sense.
Or they just have fights with it, like a food fight in a
Certainly.
slaughterhouse.
I mean it's better than
Just throw it at
wasting
each
it.
other.
So you know.
Yeah.
What?
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 I'm just not positive that that's not equivalent. To
So anyway,
No, I wasn't
Captain-
talking about the food fights. I
Oh, okay.
was talking about putting it into other kinds of food, but
Yes.
Then
anyway,
we
the
went off on a
captain
food fight team.
captain came on the intercom and he was like, "We're going to be delayed for 15 minutes because we're waiting for a technician to come and repair a broken tray table." And
I
then
like
15
how
minutes
we're
passed, and the
still back
technician
on this
wasn't there.
story.
And then another 15 minutes passed, and the technician still wasn't there, and we're just sitting on the tarmac, plane running. And then the pilot gets back on the intercom, and he's like,
And
"Well,
you
the
had too little
technician,
gas. Yeah.
the technician responded to another call in another plane on the tarmac, and so we only have one technician who's certified to repair the tray table, so we have to wait." And so another
That's good.
half hour passes, and this guy shows up. He tapes up the tray table. I have a picture of it. He didn't fix
He
shit.
needed a certification for that.
Puts tape.
No, that's
He
the
puts
thing.
tape on it. I have a photo. He tapes it up, and it's good
That's
to go.
what I would do.
He gets off the plane, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be an hour late. I'll still be
No,
able
they're going to
my
refuel
connecting
because
flight.
they burn.
I can still
right?
catch my connecting flight. There's still hope. The pilot gets back on the intercom and he says, "All right, well, I'm paraphrasing. Since we left the plane running, we have to refuel now."
Yep.
And I missed my connecting
Yeah.
flight.
Terrible.
And that,
I'm assuming that the
Did
large
we
windows
open
mean
this door?
it's visible in here that it's like lit. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's definitely some lighting. Kind of a breeze sweeps through it for the first time in ages. A long arm with a circular saw blade about the size of bigger than your head. Kind of creaks and drops to the floor.
Ah!
To- there's nothing moving. There's, however, a lot of sharp, rusty things. Again, it's a slaughterhouse that's been left here for 1,000 years. Certainly, it hasn't oxidized as much under the circumstances as it might otherwise, but at the same time, it's it's a slaughterhouse. It's an abandoned slaughterhouse. It looks roughly abandoned slaughterhouse-esque.
Really painting a word picture here.
It was until I decided to just keep on going.
I'm wondering if we should anticipate several more, like maybe 4 more.
Words, slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse 5 pun.
Thank you.
Hmm.
All right, Gervonic.
Wow.
How many ices? Okay.
What? How many what?
And how ices?
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, so the thing falls to the floor and we all jump.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, Eupori screams, but it's at a pitch that Zoom wouldn't convey to you guys, so I'm not.
I
even
appreciate that,
Thank you.
Peter.
bothered. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm wearing headphones, and so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
good. Other than that, after the dust settles for a moment and it's still,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I will go on in, I guess, slowly and stealthily.
okay. What sort of precautions, if any, I guess, are you like actively trying to not be seen? And I guess how is a little bit of a question given that you just like
Well,
slam the door open.
well, I didn't mean like stealthily as in like trying not to
No,
be
but-
seen, because like I don't anticipate there's anyone in here to see me. But I mean stealthily as in like I'm moving slowly and carefully so that I don't like step on anything that could hurt me, or step on like a piece of floor that's rotted away and going to like fall out from under me, or like, you know, I don't want to walk under another saw blade larger than my head at the moment it is falling, like that sort of stealthy. Like I'm
Keep
just
an eye on the saw blades that are larger than your head. That makes sense.
those
you really
particularly, yes. Yeah, so I'm just moving
have to keep track of that
carefully.
many, you know.
Yeah.
But okay.
I just don't want to have
well
like a
then.
Looney Tunes death in this slaughterhouse.
That, you know what? I don't know. I do have that power, but it would be an extremely harsh use of the rules if I did it. Why don't, instead of me doing that, because I'm not going to, why don't you give me a diffuse roll? We never quite decide between steel and force in terms of probably steel.
Yeah,
and
steel is like the
kinda,
agility
yeah,
one, right?
for the steel kind of.
Standard.
Yeah.
None. Woo, 12!
Very good.
Yeah!
Okay. So you kind of creep your way in. Is there anything in here particular that you are looking for? Like, or do you just need to make sure it's not like threatening?
I think
Before you...
top priority is making sure that it's not a threat in any way, or could become a threat in any way. And then, yeah, I think secondarily, if there's anything that seems useful in terms of, like, tech, or even something like, you know, building materials, or, like, rare items that we think would be useful for trade, or, you know, creation of whatever, like, yeah. So I'm yeah, priority number 1 is making sure it's not a threat or doesn't have the potential to become a threat. Priority number 2 is, of course, opportunistic scavenging, because that's always a good thing to have on the back burner. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think ignoring that. Yeah, you're safe. So you rolled complete success. So that's, you can kind of safely make your way through the largely rusted machinery. I think definitely that the tech is not like technologically of interest to you, but in terms of, you know, this much kind of refined steel, and yes, you're gonna need to reform it, but I think resource-wise, just like melting down this place is going to be a huge boon if you can. You can, I think in particular, since you rolled that good, kind of towards the back, you find locked office, which I just realized that I say is another locked door, but that's my fault.
Is there a window in the door?
Yeah, and it's on pretty rusty hinges even. It's just like was locked, you know, when they left for business 1,000 years ago. And as such, it's, I don't think structurally, but you can kind of go in, and there, I think you found basically an old computing system, but those sorts of resources in particular, with your kind of limited mining capabilities, or geographically limited mining capabilities, has been, I think, tough in terms of like just the components you need to build a computer, which I'm bullshitting a little bit on, but I do not feel all that unjustified in. I just know that some of them are mined. That's really anywho. So that tech stuff. Why don't you, in fact, take a point of tech?
Yay.
Oh.
I will do
Yeah.
that. Now I have 4 tech.
Does the computer turn on?
Yeah.
Not initially. This whole place seems unpowered.
Okay.
Which is largely a boon to you. Do you want to try and figure out how to turn it on?
Basically, I want to know if it's connected to the Big Brother computer in the military research facility.
Okay. Do you want to give me a lore roll then?
Sure.
Everything is
tell you.
connected.
It won't turn on. It has too many zeros, not enough ones.
Gotta refill the
Hey.
ones.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not bullshit you. It's
Nice.
seems
What?
entirely.
Wow.
I was never gonna.
Lots of 12s
Um,
today.
Remember.
Yeah.
That is a 12. Yeah. The rolls, the dice are your friends mostly so far. We'll see. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be connected. This seems to be fairly ordinary tech from around the apocalypse time, whereas
Okay.
the
And it's got a post-it note on it that has the password written on it.
Yeah.
And one of those little the fuzzy pom-pom guys with the feet and the googly eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. It runs Math Munchers. What are we doing here? Oh, it's an old MS-DOS system.
Yeah. Euphoria is slowly stealing the hang in there poster from the wall of the office.
Oh.
Is that the one?
Yeah, it's like,
He needs the motivation.
yeah, it's like, I've never seen this before. This is great. This is hilarious. This is the best joke I've ever seen.
And it's
Yeah.
a kitten.
And it's
I
a
have
kid,
one of those.
and it's hanging.
It's literally
Literally
hanging.
hanging. What a great idea.
There's
Classic.
also a world's best boss coffee mug on the desk.
Oh yeah.
With some
but it's
millennium
faded, so
old
it
coffee
says-
in it.
Yeah. Oh. I can tell you what that looks like.
What does that look like, actually? I am curious. My grandpa, when he was working on the C14 project, said they had beer dregs, and I have no idea what that looks like either.
It looks surprisingly like a picture of a alien planet. I'll find a picture and
Old
show
coffee?
you guys. Yeah, hang tight.
Fair. Well,
Stay tuned.
beer dregs probably don't look like that. But yes,
Yes.
Cheryl.
What? Me?
Were you not about to ask something?
No. I thought Jordan
Oh.
was. Were you trying to turn the computer on or no?
No, I think
She-
I'm done.
Okay.
Trying to figure out if it belonged to her friend computer. Oh, that's a fun name.
Sounds like it's air gapped from.
Friend Pewter. Is there anything else interesting or useful in this office? Besides the decorations?
There's a
I don't
poster
think
about
so.
like workplace safety.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's this is the management office, so there's also several anti-union posters too.
Yep.
The real scumbag. Listen, these people, they froze to death, and it's a good thing they did. You see a frozen corpse, in fact.
Wait,
Slumped
really?
over the desk. Sure, why not? There's skeletons around here somewhere.
Isn't it like?
Wait, is that a corpse?
Isn't it like partially thawed though? Cause like.
But they were locked.
Um,
Wait, they locked themselves in.
That
then-
actually, yeah, I think against their workforce. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Oh.
It was
The story is
It is a
getting
good
darker.
rebellion of the. Listen, only for them.
I make sure it's all the way dead.
We'll
It
find out in the
is, it's-
prequel exactly what happened when the sun left.
Okay.
I was.
What?
I mean, you don't keep working. You don't keep going to work when that happens, do you?
Yeah.
Depends
Have
on your
you
job.
seen
Exactly.
the world right now?
Yeah, I was about
Well-
to say.
That's a really good point.
Oh, it's not that bad. It'll be back soon. Don't worry about it 4 months later.
You know, my job was making popsicles, but there's not much demand for that right now.
The
Yeah,
government
switch to
gives
snow
everyone
cones.
$1,200. Oh, the sun will be back soon. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, the really see, you got to think about it from this point of view, right? Like their job is basically running a giant air conditioning building,
Yeah.
right? And then everything gets
Yeah.
colder, their overhead just drops, right? So then the competition just shoots through the roof. Everybody's getting into meat storage. So
and then all of a sudden,
yeah, the
Mhm.
margins just shrink, and then everybody's
he retaliates against the workers. It's a bad scene. But
capitalism is bad.
all you know is
Yeah,
that there's a skeleton.
Okay,
There's a skeleton.
it's a skeleton.
I decided just now.
Okay, I have 2 Instagram posts of old dried up coffee cup bottoms. Which would you prefer? How would you?
How am I supposed to choose?
Yeah. Here, hold up.
What is happening
All right.
here? Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Can you see that?
That's
what just happened to your audio?
Oh.
Yes, we can see that. It's very
Huh. It does look. How old is that one? Not millennia.
Ooh, that one's cool.
Whoa. That
It's
one's
very Mars-like, right?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the Mars one that doesn't have mold in it. I'm assuming the moldy one must have had like creamer and sugar in it or something. Oh, jeez. Wow.
Yeah, that was rough.
Thank
But,
you. Thank you for that. That I also get
how
to
old
listen
were
to
those
a
two?
second time later. Can't
How
hear
old
you.
were
Now
they,
you've
Peter?
destroyed it.
Peter,
Yeah.
you've ruined
I'm
everything.
assuming you can just
There you
edit
go.
all of that section out because nobody will want to listen to us look at a coffee cup.
You know what?
that a topic up?
She's probably right.
Look, anybody who's listening, go back to my Instagram. Go back to 2018.
Plug.
Plug.
Uh,
Like the post, so I know that you did
But
it.
how old were they, Peter?
So the moldy one was I went home for Christmas break as a grad student for a month. So that was a month-old coffee cup, and the other
This
one.
is 1,000 years, Peter. Do better.
Yeah. I feel like coffee doesn't change that much.
Oh my god, if there were any meat in here, it would be super valuable because it's been dry aged for like so long. Anyway.
Any meat?
In the jerky business.
Hang on. It has been, and I
Round
was
up mummies.
leaning towards your expertise in terms
Didn't
of...
the Victorians eat or drink
Yes.
ground up mummies? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
Very
they did
important
pretty much.
panacea, and it showed up in pigments in
Yep.
old paint.
I remember that from Ask a Mortician. I love that show.
Oh, I learned it better on Sawbones.
What? Oh.
Sawbones.
Sawbones.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a book that talks about that, but I don't know where it is.
Anyway.
What is
That's
it with this
neither-
show and people wanting
So-
to dive onto their bookshelves to grab a reference? That's
Uh,
either good or bad.
so
I can't tell.
Isn't the bit
Cheryl,
of this
I
show
will-
that we're scientists that are supposed to talk about science occasionally? I feel like that's
Almost
a pretty
entirely,
standard
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Hasn't been the most. That's fine. So yeah, sorry.
So then the
Cheryl,
flight
what I
attendant was like, there'll be someone
my
waiting.
God,
No,
Xander!
I will fight you.
No one cares.
I'm gonna leave my house and drive to your apartment.
That sounds really dumb, especially right now.
Yeah, especially right now, Cheryl.
I know. I'm just
But,
I'm use my loppers and cut the power from the outside so I don't have to go in the apartment.
Yeah, that's
Smart.
yeah.
So I there was definitely meat here when it shut down. I genuinely don't know. Because it's been cold as hell. So like
Well,
preservation.
we're
is
scientists, so we should probably
possible.
test this.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is you scientists help me out here? Who of you has the meat expertise? I believe it's Sheryl.
What?
You're like a biologist of some sort. I'm a physicist. Everything above
Like
that
a
is the same.
biologist is a very accurate way of saying that. I have never taken ecology or organic chemistry or I have not taken most of the things a biologist takes. I am a
I'm
biologist
taking those classes.
in disguise. Well, then it's
Oh,
Peter's
Peter,
job.
Tell
Also,
us about the
Peter
meat.
is an
You're a
agriculture
farm
extension
person. Yeah,
agent.
what? I'm
So,
sorry.
like, yeah.
That's my bad. Peter, why didn't you speak up? What the fuck?
Have you met
Stand there.
him?
I don't want to put myself on blast.
I do technically study what happens when electricity runs through meat, but I'm talking about the
That's
human
not.
I
Yeah.
only have
A little bit
experience
different.
with the recently dead, so.
Ooh.
Well. All right, Peter.
Okay, yes. Out of all of us, I have the most experience with dead mammals. What was the question?
Cows.
What was the
So
question?
cow meat 1,000 years, but in the absolute frigid cold, and therefore, what's the preservation?
It's basically an
Yeah.
ice mummy, right?
Yeah.
So like they're like think
Yeah.
like shoot, what is his name? The Iceman.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh god.
No, I'm yeah.
I
recall
think his name was Megaclite.
beef jerky.
No, that's not it. There was also a mammoth in the ice.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
right thing.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
a
just
good-
like jerky. I'm gonna go with
Is it-
like
Yeah.
real
Cheryl was
kind of
like,
It's
thick jerky.
like freeze dried meat, right?
Mhm.
yeah, but your assertion that would be valuable or good to me feels
It was
like
a joke about like people dry age
Okay, no, fair.
steak
Yeah.
for like 90 days and then cook it, and apparently
Mhm.
it's like wine that like aging it and like a lot
Yeah.
like allowing controlled decomposition to happen in the steak makes it more flavorful. I don't know. I've never had a dry aged steak.
Fair enough.
His name is Oatsy.
That's it.
Yeah. So like that.
So like
Or 8Z.
All right.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Oh,
Fair
with
enough.
dots over it.
Probably
It's
not
got an
really,
umlaut?
but it's there.
Yeah, it's got
It's
a new
Ötzi. Yeah, putting the umlaut on it, it basically you would say it like if you spelled it without the umlaut, it would be O-E and then the rest of the letters. So
gotcha.
yeah, an umlaut just makes it kind of like a E sound. I don't. It's not a great way of explaining that, but yeah.
I want to know what the waveform of that noise is.
I'll text it to you later.
So definitely edible.
Okay.
Like so there are absolutely biologists who have eaten
the old
meat from like mammoths that were preserved.
The old meat.
I
mean, everyone knows about the skull licking, so that doesn't really.
The what?
Yeah.
Skull licking, bone licking in general.
How you can tell whether something is a bone or not. You
Oh
lick
right,
it.
yeah.
Do you want me to demonstrate?
What?
No, I'm good. Okay.
Peter, go ahead and explain.
This is gonna go great for the
like a
podcast
fool.
listeners. Sorry,
Explain
podcast
without
listeners.
demonstrating.
Yes, I
So-
love that.
Imagine this emu skull was a rock,
Okay.
and you didn't know whether or not it was a bone.
Where did you get
Right.
an emu skull?
Don't
He just
worry
keeps
about
it
it.
handy.
From on top of my
I was
desk.
gonna say you just
Yeah.
like pulled it from off screen from your props master and like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. This emu skull mummy with still some flesh and eyelashes on it. Yeah.
Oh,
So like,
Well, that got more.
Okay.
horrifying.
Weird.
Yeah.
bo-
By
bones
like
are
a big margin.
bones are porous and rocks are
Right.
usually not.
Yes.
So stick to your tongue. And rocks
That's
don't.
horrifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Xander specifically asked me not to demonstrate, so I didn't lick it.
So if it's a bone,
I appreciate that.
you lick it and it doesn't let go.
Yeah, that's. I don't like
Yeah.
that one bit.
And
That's also what happens if you lick a real emu.
mhm.
That too, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
true.
mean.
and physicists and anthropologists will tell you that that's like some kind of like capillary action, surface tension kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But really, it's the spirit vacuum in the bones sucking part of your soul out. Yeah.
I
So
like that
that's-
you had to say physicist with air quotes, like that's not a real job.
Yeah.
It
And-
isn't.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
not.
have you ever met a
Are
physicist
you
in
kidding?
real life?
Yes.
I don't
Several.
think so.
Not a
No, I
single-
have, but they don't do real jobs.
Like,
do
as a Twitch
physics.
stream with a reference section, you could trust everything we say.
Mhm.
Wow,
It's
wow,
really-
okay. Hmm.
There's a man with an emu skull.
I
Don't
wouldn't
trust anything I say.
Trust anything anyone says. The other thing you kind of can tell, broadly speaking, is that, well, I guess, is that power would change the state of this if you wanted to try and get it powered on, but not necessarily in a positive way. Certainly, if you wanted to try and access records, that would be the best way, or get this machinery moving for some reason. You might be, again, yeah, neither of those seem like hugely important goals, which is why I'm talking about it like this instead of assuming that anyone actually wants to give it a go. But you can kind of at least think about that for some time in the future if it becomes interesting. But from there, it's only a few days. No, maybe. I haven't set a scale on this at all or been consistent about it.
Distance is the
Few days
worst thing in
seems-
these games.
Distance is the absolute worst. This is a topological map, and so it doesn't even. Rather, I am declaring this map to be topological
Okay.
from here on out. It's only about so it's like let's say a half day's walk, ride, journey, hike, lug, haul,
Slog.
slog's a good one. Down to
Let
the freshwater. So let's see.
Ganymede checks on you, Pori. Make sure you grab whatever random stuff isn't nailed down to take back with you.
yeah. Okay. Should I
I
do
want,
full of
all
salt.
of this. I want all of these cool artifacts.
like the chains and the old meat and stuff?
Probably not the old me.
Wait,
okay.
that's a step too far, even for Ganymede.
Whoa,
You know what the lines are.
Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking like the posters and things like that.
Oh yeah, I totally got those. I got this
Good,
great
good.
one with like a kitten on it, and it's like hanging.
Oh wow,
What is-
I love it.
Wait, but what does it say?
But what does it say?
It says
What's the
like
caption?
don't fall off or something like that.
Nice.
Remember.
Don't fall off. I like that.
wow.
Don't fall off.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Great. Some kind of
Great
some
stuff.
motivational. in there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh.
it's like half days travel through the various travel mechanisms that you all individually use, speeder bikes, other things, third
Giant
things, giant alpaca. Is it? Yes. Okay.
Check.
But you
Yeah.
make your way down to I guess it's a hot spring now, because
Yeah.
Xander spoke it into existence. But it's, well, oh yeah, I guess then it would be kind of a mineral hot spring, and that water is, I mean, you might, it can or could or could not be toxic. I think not toxic is an option, right?
Yeah, I've
don't
been
have to-
in mineral
this
hot
isn't-
springs. Some of them are kind of weird
Yeah.
and gross, but they're kind of cool too. So, you know.
Yeah, that's kind
Not
of
toxic. It just smells like farts.
Oh my god. So so when I worked in Colorado, one of the summers when I was in college, I had an internship and I was inside the Front Range of the Rockies, and we were really close to the I think it's just called the Hot Sulphur Springs, and it's actually cool because it's a hot springs resort, but it's this whole group of hot springs was important to the local Native American tribes, and so the resort has an arrangement with the local tribes that, like, when they need to use the area for ceremonies or whatever, the resort shuts down so that they can come in and use which I thought was like, this is actually
like a serious level of concession.
like a sort of respectful relationship. But that one is cool because they have, I don't even remember, like a lot of springs, little pools all over the place. And I liked the resort because it's nerdy, but they had a little sign next to each pool that tells you the temperature, because each one is a different heat.
Yeah.
So you could like jump between pools that are hotter or colder, but also, most of them are hot sulfur springs, which, like, when you're in it, it doesn't smell that bad, but like it gets into your skin and into your bathing suit, and then like whatever clothes you put on when you come out of the springs, and then it just like, oh my god, I washed my clothes so many times and it still smelled like sulfur. No, for like through multiple like washes in the washing machine. It was crazy. But there was one spring there that
But could you drink it? I feel like,
I mean, I didn't try drinking it. I think you probably could. It just wouldn't have tasted great.
Is sulfur dangerous?
Actually, it's one of those ones that schnapps that's like the sixth that most of the things that humans are.
I heard some of those words.
We had to memorize an acronym. It's like schnapps, CHNOP and S. Those six chemicals make up like 90-something% of you.
Oh.
Almost all of it.
Yeah, it's
Those
a
are
micronutrient for crops. I mean, like you put sulfur on fields. Actually, so when we started, acid rain, was it? You guys are old enough to remember acid rain? Okay, all right.
And
So
styrofoam, acid rain and styrofoam, and the ozone layer. Those are really big.
Yep.
Yeah. Those were like the pollution issues in the 90s before we realized, like, just climate change is the
my grandpa worked with.
Acid rain was basically reforming sulfuric acid in the and then it comes down. So that was great for areas where agricultural lands were low in sulfur. And now, because we have a reduced amount of, like, for like 40 years, 50 years, like, we didn't have to put sulfur on agricultural fields, and now it's funny because sulfur is like the one of the micronutrients for plants, so we know like the least amount because like we don't know how much certain crops need because it's always just been like in abundance. And now it's like, wait, why aren't these watermelon growing well? Oh, because we don't have acid rain anymore. Dang.
That's good.
It's wild.
I was gonna say there was one pool at this hot springs resort though that was weird. I want to say it was magnesium, something like that. It had something else in the water besides the sulfur, and that one, the pool was real gross because as you're swimming along, it was kind of like a bigger pool. You're swimming along and all of a sudden you see floating towards you, it looked like clumps of black hair, like someone, you know, had just like been shedding in the pool, but it turns out that it wasn't organic hair, it was clumps of this like mineral whatever it was. Like I said, I think it was magnesium, but maybe not. But yeah, it was just like clumps of black stringy hair like stuff from whatever was in the water. It was real gross. So I hope that this hot spring is not full of that, because that I would not want to drink.
It's just monkey hair.
It's just what? Monkey hair?
Monkey hair.
Yeah,
Monkey hair.
I think there's at least a couple of what the hell, kind of nicer hot springs to like just chill in, which especially kind of in this frigid environment might be fun for you. I don't know. But so you're here, Sheryl, mostly because you want to claim it.
I do.
Is
fight
anyone
the monkeys.
Else? I think.
Are we all getting in the hot spring?
I mean,
well, are you? That's not the first question. I was gonna ask, is there anything that like you other
Euphoria
factions
is definitely
are
wearing a
looking
shirt.
for?
Like he's wearing like a big T-shirt.
Oh, yep.
Lissa isn't getting in the hot spring.
No.
Smart.
No.
Might be good for your arthritis?
Old
Question mark.
bones.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might not be true.
Dude, if you
Cats
haven't
can
been
make
in a
sense.
hot tub or a hot springs with snow around you, it is a worthwhile experience.
True.
Yeah. Vermont. But now I live in California.
Good ski times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While we were
Go ahead.
coming
Yeah.
from the slaughterhouse to the hot springs, and you said it was like a short route, was there any trail?
Yeah.
Was there any obvious trail, or did we have to?
Actually, you know what? That's a good dang point. Is I don't think there was, and in fact, there's a move for when that's the case.
There is wasteland survival.
So,
it's plus steel.
There
isn't
is. Thank you, Xander, for making me remember that I need to make you roll
We're
sometimes.
supposed to use rules in this game? What?
Yeah, right?
I
I forget.
Wasteland survival
so
uses steel, right?
Who wants to?
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna do it because I
already rolled.
Oh, okay.
Partial success.
That's
I thought when Jareth said you, he meant me.
Oh.
Well,
Very self-centered.
since you brought it up.
A little. This is Ganymede we're talking about.
Well, we are both good navigators, so
I was gonna say
there's
yeah,
a 9
there's
from Ganymede and a 10 from Islae.
There's also the aid option,
Oh, yeah.
which lets you bump things up. So
I do that.
roll group 3. Yeah, so you can, and you did roll it, and you got a hit, so it increases the result by
To a
1
hit.
to
Yay.
a full hit. So there you go. All right, so
Success.
now moving back up to the first move, Wasteland Survival, which you now succeeded on. You still you have the 3 kind of. I don't actually care about those. Since you had a 10. So why don't you pick one of the positive kind of wasteland survival things? Hidden treasure, secret path, or details on a thread. Secret path kind of seemed like what you were angling for, but I don't want to.
Definitely.
Secret tunnel. Secret
I know.
tunnel.
I'm trying so hard, Cheryl. I'm trying so hard. Secret path. Through the ice.
I'm not
All right.
sorry.
Excellent. So yeah, you find So no one else can. Okay.
Hmm?
So I'm just trying to think of to what extent and how you would claim kind of these spring, because kind of the major issue you had before was that kind of getting people to and from them was more. And I think if you can kind of maybe set up a more semi-permanent infrastructure here, then that becomes less of a concern. Does that feel?
That was part of it. What?
Let's use lead pipes like the Romans.
The water will be very sweet. Yeah, I think part of it, might be like more semi-permanent infrastructure here, but also the idea that like building backwards might be easier, right? Like us trying to like build some sort of route or infrastructure from our settlement to here might have been a little difficult because we weren't quite sure where we were going. But like now that we're here, it might be very easy for us to sort of like backtrack.
Okay, yeah, you kind of both do kind of like new processing here, but then because you're building from here, you can run the pipe along the shore instead of trying to. Yeah, that all checks to me.
Cool.
So what do we roll to make that happen? Always the question, right?
Yeah.
It's not quite a diffuse. Just quickly running through the moves. You know.
I edit out lots of thinking noises too.
This is terrible. All right. The worst audio right now.
It's fine.
Sheryl, why don't you give me kind of a plus force roll I'm kind of using it in the forge a path move here to the extent that I think what you're doing isn't quite the same as that, but it is you're trying to kind of set up this site for those things we were talking about, and using kind of your on-hand help for it.
I'm going to use a tech to give myself advantage.
Neat.
Because I have that.
Because you can.
Partial success.
All right.
Woof.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Saved myself from a fail though, so that's good.
Yeah. In this case, I think that's more about kind of picking out between the pools, which are, you know, the ones that are like a cool place to hang, and which ones are more refinably potable or whatever. You know,
which ones are a bit like have extra bubbles in them, so we can bottle them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
or
it's a health
mineral
tonic.
water.
If you pay extra for that.
Oh yeah, we could sell that to the trading caravan people. Good thinking.
That's true. Yeah. It's definitely one of the most important
adding surplus
and heavy things in
Perrier.
the waste. It's only if you're in the Perrier region of France.
Well, who's to say that we aren't? This is so far in the future that the landscape is
we have no idea where we are.
No, hang on. 3,000 years on a geotectonic level, that is 0 years.
We have this argument every episode.
Every episode.
Ooh,
sorry.
What was that?
I knocked over a weight and it hit a bed frame. Listen. Okay, so you can kind of go around the pools. I think set up Ganymede, you have your cool path. Lissa, are you just like happy to be here?
Yeah,
Or
for now, I think.
Happy is such a strong word.
Totally fine.
Tolerate being here.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, exactly. I'll probably give you the we didn't look at you bonus since you didn't do too much in these two when we zoom out. But yeah, actually, I think it roughly is. So Sheryl, I think you kind of secure that. And so zooming out, just kind of before we end, so if the kind of two families who didn't like Ganymede, you were up in it and you got some stuff, have you actually gotten anything from this? Because let's talk.
Do I get to get rid of my need for fresh water now?
I want you to roll a reach roll, but with advantage.
Okay.
to claim it by force. But yes, probably.
Okay. Partial success.
Okay. Well, since you did you have advantage on that too? Oh,
Yeah.
you did. That's fine.
It's
anyways.
the same numbers as the last one I had advantage on, oddly.
Well,
So
There you
Ganymede
have
is
it.
like, this place is pretty nice. I think the Bowerbirds might move. And then
Hey!
is like, just slaps by force. What I meant
Okay,
to say is the ripples should probably have this area.
so so what do you set up? Like kind of a treatment plant or anything, or is it just like kind of a pump? Do you like have kind of a small settlement?
Yeah, I think a little of all of that. Like, I don't know.
Okay,
Settlement feels
No,
like
for
a strong
sure.
word, but yeah, like enough.
But like 20-ish people, enough to kind of keep the machines running.
Yeah.
More like an oil platform than like a real settlement. Yeah, where the people are there to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Give it a name. It's your spring now. Do you want to give it a name? You can think about it.
Annie's spring.
What'd you say?
Yes.
No. I was gonna go with Springfield, but that felt real bad.
We can have a town named Deannisburg. We can have a town named Springfield.
That is pretty.
Oh god. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
No, that's fair. We'll find out next time. Xander.
Wait, now can I remove the need? Sorry, I'm real invested in this.
Remove
Okay.
that need.
Woohoo! It's gone.
Oh,
Thank
and
you.
because it's your octopus need, is that why you're so
Yes,
invested?
I want my octopus back.
They're back!
They're back. Ken has
They're back.
octopus again.
We did it.
They have like fresh, beautiful mineral water. Oh gosh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
All right, thank you.
Xander, did I give you anything yet? If not-
Well, what I wanted to do was erase my need for transport, which is why I'm doing all the scouting for the roads and everything.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm angling for.
Not from this, but take 2 data.
Okay.
We have one giant alpaca now, so
A few. Listen, you just willed them into their total existence.
I just had trouble adding 2 to 3. I know it's
It's a
going well.
toughie.
Here.
Oh no.
It's a toughie.
Oh no.
So then,
I wrote that
Jordan,
email to that
a-
doctor pretty successfully.
Are you sure? We haven't.
did you? I need to go read that now. Real glad I'm BCC'd on it all of a sudden.
yeah, right?
What if it's all garbled? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you didn't use like my Harvard email when you
Oh
sent it.
no.
Interesting.
That would be. So on the zooming out move in the story moves section, just above wonders in the reference on page 78, or on a regular page in the big book, depending on not even all the references, because that's the printout one is. Anyway, on the zoom out move, Peter and Jordan, there are some options because those scenes were not all that much about you, as it turned out. So if you want to, you can pick one of those. Change your role, which also gets you a move. Scavenging for tech, or scouting for info, which gets you data. You can take a treaty, or you can discover a new danger and target it at whoever you want.
I want to scavenge.
Cool. For tech,
Yeah.
add 1 tech to your family's stock. All right, Jordan.
I'm thinking scouted for information.
Okay. So that gives you 1 data, and you also can describe a lead that might give you a surplus or remove a need. So what need / surplus are you thinking about?
I'd like to start chipping away at some of these needs,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I guess I'm debating between. I was originally thinking something like, since the robots seem to be like stealing stuff for me or something,
Implied to that.
I'm able to convince them to kind of like
be our scouts by figuring out some way of communicating through the supercomputer, and so that would resolve defenses. That feels like a lot.
Honestly, I was actually thinking something fairly similar. I think, yeah, if you can convince the robots to do it for you, you can absolutely use them to augment your defenses. That makes plenty of sense for me, and that's the lead, and you can take the data, and we'll probably resolve that next time, since it's basically 7 on my coast, which is other times in your coasts, except those of you who aren't on coasts. So yeah, good session. I think we stayed on the rails for at least an hour of it. Which, 40%, not bad.
Yeah, way to go, team. Well, thank you for all the players for being here for what we were. Thank you to everyone in the chat for being with us through whatever that was. Thank you to Nikki and Qui-Gon for chatting with us, and thank you to everyone else for watching, and thank you to everyone else in the future who will be listening or watching. We appreciate all of you. Announcements. If you didn't catch it on Thursday, Joe played Pokemon, or tried to. He was working on his tech setup, but hopefully the next time he does that, which will be, checking calendar, the next time he plays Pokemon, I think, will be the 24th. Is that right? Show me things calendar. Yes. Okay. So on the 24th of September, Joe will be back on here playing Pokemon and talking about science and stuff. On Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, the 19th, we'll be back with more Arda, with Nikki back as our special guest, so that the players can keep exploring the Muriam village of Flossagri. And then the following Saturday, that's the 26th, Emily will be back playing more video games. She did that last night as well, so thanks for hanging out with her when she does that. So yeah, we've got a nice full schedule of things going on. More projects TBD in the future, or TBA, I guess. They've been determined. They have yet to be announced. So stay tuned. Yeah, anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Or should we just leave? We should.
Yeah, nothing.
What?
Smoke bombs, ninja vanish.
Smoke bombs.
Slides rolling chair.
Yeah.
1 foot.
Okay.
Nope. Okay. Well, it sounds like that's the signal for us to leave. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Have a good night. We will see you later. Bye.
Bye.